What is up? What is going on? I want to welcome each and every one of y'all to my home. Welcome to the Homegrown Sneaker Cave. I don't even know if that's what I want to call it, but that's what we're going to call it tonight. I want to welcome each and every one of y'all. We got a few things going on tonight, a few topics to discuss. If you were available for Good Morning Soul Source, we skimmed over some of the things that we're going to be talking about tonight. We gave clues as to what we're going to expound on, and I also mentioned that we're going to have this duck up in the corner. Hey, I already explained it, man. It's a lot. It's a lot, but we're gonna have the duck floating up in the corner until I just feel like paying for it. I'm still trying to decide whether I want to pay for StreamYard or if I just want to go a whole different direction as far as streaming services and streaming capabilities and things like that. I know that y'all, when y'all see something like that up in the corner, man, y'all are really feeling like I know. I know, but your boy is, I don't want to say broke, because if I say broke, I feel like I'm going to put myself in a position of being broke, but I just got to make sure that certain things are in line before I go and pay for something like StreamYard just to get this to go away and to, gain more access. But with that being said, man, we're going to get into things. We're going to keep it going. We're going to keep it pushing. If y'all hear me snacking at some point during this, man, shout out to Frito-Lay's, man. I got the big variety box of the spicy big variety box, man. It came with the flaming hots and all that kind of stuff, man. Delicious. Another thing I want to say is shout out to my Red Cup, Double Cup fam, man. We always sipping on something good tonight, whether it's water, whether it's energy drinks, whether it is spirits or things like that, man. We always got something good going on. Cassia Griffin, what is good? Salutes to you. How are you doing this evening? How was your day today? I know we don't ever really talk to anybody and ask them how good their day has been going. That's something that I want to do, man. I want to ask each and every one of y'all, how has your day been, man? We all need that. We all need that outlet, man. That source to vent sometimes. Good, and me, I'm doing good, man. I got a lot of complaints, but ain't nobody got time for that, man. Ain't nobody got time to listen to that. But I appreciate you for asking, man. Thank you. And for everybody that's tuned in tonight, and for everybody that's going to stick around, even if you leave, please feel free to hit that subscribe button, hit that thumbs up, let the algorithms know that we doing something real freaking good over here. And then don't forget, if you're looking at it from your mobile device, once you click that thumbs up, hit that hype button, man. Hype me up. Give me points, man. It don't cost you nothing. It's completely free, but it boosts my videos in the algorithm. So I appreciate you all for doing that. If you could, please. And then leave a comment in the live stream or in the comment section below. Jenny Doherty said, nice stream, man. Thank you, Jenny Doherty. I appreciate you. Thank you for coming around, man. You have a nice spirit about yourself just for saying that. I appreciate you. But what am I drinking on, man? I'm drinking on a little bit of drink of choice for tonight is some Minute Maid. I think this is fruit punch with a little bit of Tito's. And I don't push for people to drink, but if you are a partaker in spirits, do it responsibly. Because a lot of mistakes can be made, and we're trying to be as mistake-free as possible, especially in today's climate. So let's be good about that. I appreciate you for hitting that subscribe button. Are you okay, man? Not trying to be mean to you, but you look like you had a bad day. Well, I mean, today I'm doing good. Today I'm doing pretty good. If you are a follower of the channel, I've cataloged quite a bit about, the rough experience I've had over the last year and a half, 2 years, or something like that, with injuries and things like that. I've had a few medical injuries and things like that. So I'm just recovering from all of those, and making my way, man, trying to make things as positive as possible and spread a lot of positivity and push that forward, because there's a lot of people going through a lot of things, and we could all use a little bit more positivity going around. But I appreciate you for asking me. Thank you so freaking much for asking me about that. I appreciate that. And I hope you're doing good as well. If I did not say that, I hope you're doing good as well. And if you're not, man, feel free to, vent and put it in the chat, and, maybe we can discuss it and help you work through it. But if you all don't know, I do reactions sometimes. I do a lot of sneaker content, and I keep a lot of people up to date with things that are going on within my space, i.e. the name Homegrown Kicks, i.e. the live known as Soul Source. Not only is it good for your feet, but it's good for your spirit, because again, we all have things that we want to share and get off our chest. It's a double play on words. I figured I was pretty clever for that. But yeah, that's what it is about around here, man. A lot of support and information going on. You know what I'm saying? I try to do my best to inform people and let you all make your choices based on the things that I say, unlike these other misleading content creators that only want you to do what they want you to do because they're getting paid to tell you to do so. So tonight we're going to be talking about a lot of various things. If you saw the thumbnail, it's titled "She Stole My Shoes." We're going to get into that video because it is sneaker related and the reason why I did that. But before we get into that, I want to show anybody who is interested out there in YouTube land the video of Tyla. And if y'all don't know who Tyla is a South African music artist. She's got a really huge #1 hit song that dropped a year or so ago. But she went on this YouTube channel called Complex and did some sneaker shopping. And some of the things she had to say were a bit interesting to me. Like she talked about how some of the prices for the shoes in this store are quite expensive. And I know a lot of you all who are familiar with shoes pretty much think the same, even if you aren't that deep into sneakers as far as collecting and paying resale prices, because resale prices can get ridiculous. I know a lot of you out there feel that even regular prices for shoes that you see on a day-to-day basis are pretty expensive, and you don't understand what is going on or why they're so expensive. I love your spirit, man. Keep up the great work. I appreciate that. I love each and every one of y'all, man. I love y'all spirit, man. It's positive around here. I try to keep it positive. But yeah, she's talking about the ridiculousness, and I thought that was crazy because of the status in which she is, the level of money that she makes, and the amount of success that she has. For somebody like her to say that shoes of any value at this point are insanely expensive, or having the response that she had, was pretty interesting to me. So, I want to let you all see this. You all let me know what you think, and give me your thoughts and opinions on that.
All right, so maybe even like clean them a little, put them exactly where you found them. And then something that I was reading, South African sneaker culture. Are you familiar with them calling Air Max bubbles? Shoes bubbles?
Never heard of that.
Okay, so it was something that I read, but like instead of calling them Air Max technology, they call them bubbles over there. But
we call sneakers techies.
Yes, that's another.
Now, see, that's an interesting thing. So to all of my South African viewers or my Asian viewers, what is up with that? Bubbles and techies, because in the UK, for all of my UK viewers, you all refer to them as Nikes, which drives. I have to admit, every time I hear somebody say the word Nike, it kind of drives me a little crazy because the term is Nike, and for whatever reason, people in the UK don't like to pronounce certain vowels or letters or things like that. And I'm just like, it's not Nike, it's Nike. But I've heard it so much now to the point where, I'm numb to it. I just ignore it. Or you all call shoes trainers, which is fine. That one is not as egregious as Nike. But now South Africa has stepped into the chat and you all call them bubbles or techies. Like how did you get techies? How did you get techies out of tennis shoes or sneakers? Because that's what we know them in the US. I hate Steve Jobs. I don't know Steve Jobs, but I hear a bit of bad things about Steve Jobs. So I can't say I agree and I can't say I disagree. But I think a lot of people really dislike a lot of billionaires at this point in time. But yeah, that's interesting to hear from a different perspective. And of course, I'm going to be, narrating over the video a little bit and pausing during the video because this is complex. And if you show too much of their content or, don't break it up a little bit, you could potentially get hit with that copyright. And I don't have time for that. You know what I'm saying? We don't have time for that.
It's another thing I read. So explain to the audience what like techies is.
Girl, I don't even know. Just our whole life, you used to
call him a girl.
Like,
she said, "Girl, I don't even know."
Yeah,
sneakers.
Chola Puma is not a girl.
Okay,
it's
very
posh.
Yeah, like sneakers. Like techies is just like
Okay,
techies.
Sneakers. I guess they don't use the word sneakers because sneakers is
with the AI
is a rich term. I guess it feels really rich to say.
Sneakers.
That's weird.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Do you remember any of these?
So that's wild. So if I went to South Africa, and I said, "Man, these are just some regular sneakers," they would think I'm rich. They said, in a sense, that I missed the 90s and early 2000s way of living before iPhones exaggerated these. Yeah, you know what? Okay, I see what you're saying. I can absolutely agree with you. Technology kind of destroyed. Well, it didn't kind of destroy it. It 100% did destroy the way the world communicates and the way we what's the word I'm looking for? The way that we connect with one another. Because instead of connecting with one another personally, now we connect with each other through a screen and we pass a whole bunch of fictitious judgment based upon what the internet wants us to know and the way the internet wants us to think. So yeah, I can agree with you in that aspect. Like Steve Jobs is a bane of existence. So yeah, I can definitely feel that, because a lot of times I'll look at people on the internet and I'll look at situations on the internet and I'll say, this is what you all follow. This is what you all believe in. This is what you all think is important over life. And this is what you all are willing to ignore actual things that are going on, that are terribly going on in life for. And a lot of people can say what I do does not help, but there's got to be some kind of balance where you get a whole lot of negative and a whole lot of focus on terrible things. We got to kind of take our minds off of it every now and then. And that's what I, pride myself on trying to do, is being that balance somewhere in between. Because even with some of my reactions that I do on occasions, it talks about the craziness that's going on in the world. But yeah, like to think that the term sneakers is a rich term, that's crazy. And I've been to Africa before. I've been to Kenya, and I wore, for me, what was like some basic tennis shoes, some basic sneakers. And when I went there, I got the most compliments I've ever had in my life on just my shoes alone, my outfit, my appearance. And it was something basic like this, like a basic t-shirt, some shoes and stuff like that. As a matter of fact, I got the shoes right here. I wore these Air Max 270s over in Kenya, and they were just immensely impressed. They thought I was rich. I can't make this up, but they thought I was rich. So, they do things differently over there, but that's interesting to hear a different perspective where I guess, we kind of take things for granted, I guess you say. Oh, hold on. Before we continue, I got my brother, got my partner, long time acquaintance, associate friend. I don't know. So I'm gonna let him introduce himself, but he is one major part of the 12 Hub Sneaker Podcast. If you all aren't familiar with that, I would like to bring to the stage Kari. What's going on, man?
What's up, everybody? Good evening. Happy to be here on Soul Source. Been a long time.
Yeah.
Thank you for that illustrious introduction.
So let everybody know what it is that you do. As far as social media, because I know for a long time I have been trying to get you to do social media, as far as the YouTube content space, and you were kind of slow poking around a little bit, and other things happening like everybody else. But let them know what you do.
I'm a professional jackass with an internet connection that likes sneakers, popular culture, a little bit of politics, and just spending my time trying to entertain myself and others. As you mentioned, I am 1/3 of the 12 Hub Sneaker Podcast and 1/5, 6. We got a rotating door of the 12 Hub Network. Network
Okay.
being the general broadcasting platform where we talk about a little bit of everything. We just had a collab
That's beautiful.
episode. We just had a collab episode with a smaller platform, which I'm 1/3 of, the Sneaker Pod. So we just talked about life, threw some fashion and sneakers in there, and yeah, man, trying to be like you, do this content thing, hopefully entertain some people and see where it takes me, man.
Yeah, that's a beautiful thing, because for people that don't know you, or for people that do know you, I would say that when it comes to this space, you are the exact opposite of where I am, or I won't say the complete opposite or exact opposite, because I enjoy things that would surprise a lot of people, but you are more in tune with things that I wouldn't necessarily be in tune with, because I don't have the thought process to think it's that important, So like, where I would say I look at more of the earlier, I won't say old school, but where I look at the earlier 2000s trend of fashion and stuff like that, I would say you're more so on the end of the mid to current 2000 trend of things. Cause like, for a long time, some of that stuff just didn't translate for me. I just didn't understand that stuff. And for you, it seems like it's just, off the cuff. It's just in you.
Well, I got a bit of a cheat code. So like the 90s, early art stuff is natural to me because I grew up in that era. Like I'm a 90s kid.
Yeah.
But I worked in sneakers for a decade plus, primarily on the retail side. I saw a little bit of corporate, did management as well. So I kind of had to keep up with sneakers, Also being a 90s kid, I saw life before the internet. So we had to get it out the mud through going through the stores and eBay. When that was coming up, you had East Bay. So you got a catalog coming to your house. And then like being an urban kid, being a kid in the hood, sneakers was a vital part of just life. Getting fly
Right.
was a uniform. So with that being my upbringing, and then coming into the internet, digital, social media age, plus my career choices, I kind of always been into sneakers. And when you work in sneakers, you got to kind of shelve your biases and embrace whatever the company is introducing you to bring to the consumer. So it helped me branch past the Jordan retros and 90s Nike basketball silhouettes into an Adidas here, Asics there, a Saucony somewhere else. So I
Right.
think like because of my lifestyle, I kind of have to be in flux with all these different types of generation, even the newer stuff. As I'm making content, I can't turn my back on some of these quote YN trends or
Right. Right.
Whatever is going on. So, you know, I can't take all the credit. It's just life.
And you know what? Like, the weird thing is, two individuals that have somewhat of a similar path have just like two drastically different, experiences. Because I also grew up in the 90s. I'm a huge fan of like the 80s style, the track suits, the windbreakers and the track suits and the vibrant colors and stuff like that. Like, when it comes to clothes, that stuff appeals to me. And I've always been like a fashion forward person from the ankles up. I like to say the clothes portion. I can throw some clothes together pretty easy and it not feel like anything to me. But like, I was never a big focuser on tennis shoes, because I don't know, I wasn't always able to get the shoes that I wanted. And then when I did get the shoes that I wanted, it wasn't more so of a fashion statement. It was more so of just it was a shoe that I just really, really liked. And I had the opportunity to experience like a couple of different backgrounds. So like, for a short period of time, I grew up in, well, not a short period, but for a good period of time in my life, I grew up in the hood. Also growing up in the hood, I went to a private Catholic school, which is crazy, man. It's almost like a Sister Act kind of thing. Okay. Where you had the kids in the hood, but they went to a Catholic church, and and of course, it was different, but very quite similar. And then I ended up at a certain age moving to the city, like the city of Atlanta, and I grew up on the privileged side of town. You know, you got to say that, you got to be politically correct. I grew up on yeah. I grew up on a privileged side of town, and I went to a very good school, and went through high school like that, which is why a lot of people are surprised when they see me and they hear me talk the way I talk, or switch it up, code switch as they say, and able to do it and able to wear different hats. But doing all of that, it just I don't know. It just gave me an experience that I don't think a lot of people are able to have, and it kind of like switched my mindset from what I'm pretty sure would have been. And to your point, I always wanted to work with shoes, whether it be like a Foot Locker back in the day or something like that, but I just didn't get that opportunity. I was just never blessed or lucky with that opportunity. So I don't know when tennis shoes just really started to become my main focus, but it just became a thing. And here I am today doing sneaker content, where it feels like sneaker content is almost no longer relevant.
You could definitely make that argument, man. It's changed a lot.
Yeah. And it's not irrelevant in the sense of before, where it was slow growing, but people were vastly interested in it. It's almost irrelevant to the point where even those people who ushered in the revolution or were part of the wave don't even care anymore. Mm-hmm. It's a really eerie feeling. It's like walking into one of those huge super malls with the Ferris wheel and stuff in there, like the toys. It's like walking into Toys R Us in Times Square and being a part of that, and then once all of it closed down, to walk into watching it close and walk into an empty Times Square Toys R Us and see dead plants and broken down stalls and all kind of crazy stuff.
Where Jeffrey was on the wall and stuff like that, and took the signs down, and shelves are bare, and your people that you're going in there with are like, what did this used to be? Oh, it used to be Toys R Us. Yeah. And they hit you with what's Toys R Us? And you're like, wow.
Yeah, man,
I feel that.
So
It's a weird place where it's like I can't even say only the strong survive because sneakers is still a multi-billion-dollar industry. It's
yeah,
just you got to know what the next thing is, and you got to accept the fact that that next thing won't be as big, at least at this point, as the last thing. Like
yeah, yeah,
w- everyone, like you said, had an interest in sneakers. Then the pandemic happened, so they had nothing but time to get into sneakers. And
yeah,
then the advantageous and the corporations realized that there was money to be made, and they didn't have an end goal in sight. It was just everything at the wall, get while the getting's good, to the point
yeah,
where it's no longer good to get. What's left is delusional people who think it's coming back, and then the people who built this stuff, who always had a passion for it, are like, well, we're not going anywhere because this is what we know, this is what we care about. It's finally starting to resemble a sense of normality.
yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah.
gonna be a new thing, of course. Jordan and Nike people had to embrace, the Adidas, Yay, Pharrell, and anyone else under the sun wave. Then you have to address the retro runner Y2K aesthetic wave with Asics and some of the other Saucony models. And now we're just like, well, we'll see. Like you
You're right.
mentioned earlier, like the old guard has hung up their hat. The
Yeah,
Kites
yeah,
Omars, the Tony D's, the Bullets, Harrison Neville. Like sometimes you go, do those guys still make videos? It's to
right,
that point now.
right, 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 right. And we'll talk more about that, but right up on the screen.
My girl Tyler.
Yeah, yeah, a gorgeous young lady. She recently did sneaker shopping on Complex, and it's crazy because I saw a snippet of this on X, and I had completely forgotten about Complex.
Bro, until her little outfit went viral, and I'm not being funny because there was one point where Complex Media dominated my feed between this and their podcast and Full Size Run. But I had the same thing. I was like, oh, they're still doing this? Cool.
Mm-hmm. So I was just talking about how over in South Africa they call shoes techies, and they call them bubbles or something like that. Like the Air Max 95s, techies and bubbles. And to hear the term sneakers, a word that we use all the time, is a kind of rich term, a term of wealth. And even somebody in her position, her talking about it, she felt uncomfortable saying it. And Tyler is yeah. She's not hurting for any dime or dollar as far as I know. Now, of course, I mean, a lot of times it can look one way and be something completely different, but I would guess that she's not hurting for anything.
I would say she's comfortable,
yeah. And then I was talking about how over in the UK, I mean, it's different how we're so close, but we're so different. So in South Africa, it's bubbles and techies, and then in the UK, it's trainers and Nike, which grinds my gears. I absolutely hate to hear people say Nike, especially from the UK. And no shade to my UK viewers, but especially from the UK, when they demand that we say things the way they say it, and they say it the proper way. Like if you're gonna demand that we say things the proper way, then extend that courtesy and put that E on the end of that Nike.
That always used to throw me off because, like I alluded to, I worked at retail. One point I was with Nike, and being in the area I'm in, I'm like between like two major international airports. So our store will get a lot of international customers. And it would always catch me off guard when people from the UK would come and be like, oh, Mike, you got Nike trainers. And I would take them to the training section. And I'd be like, yeah, so we got like retro trainers like Bo Jacksons. We've got modern day trainers like Metcons, and they start wandering off. I'm like, yo, I thought they wanted trainers, and they end up getting super hyped because over there they love Air Max. Like they call the 95 the 110. They're big fans of Air Max Plus or Tune Max, as they call it, because that's just technically the technology. Oh yeah, bro, they love crep. They call them creps too. Oh yeah, my favorite kind of creps. I'm like trainers. But I'm like, why is this guy going past the actual...
that's where the name Crep Protect came from.
Yep. So I'm like,
terrible product.
Why is this dude over here? And then one of my managers at the time was like, oh yeah, bro, they just call sneakers trainers, bro. That's what they call them. So I'm just like, so what do they call training shoes? Like, I was like, right. I never got it.
That's wild. So I guess Joe is what we're looking at right now is I guess Joe is telling her, or he had somebody toss him a shoe, and I guess it's supposed to be a memory for her. So I don't know where this is gonna lead, but
check it out. I never took
it with the AIR. It was like, this is the Supreme version, but the AIR, the Scottie Pippen up tempo, is really one that South African sneaker culture really gravitated to, and that's where like the bubbles came from. But
yes, all the skr kids would wear the black and white ones.
Oh, the skr kid.
Yeah, I thought the video glitched. I didn't know what she just said.
Oh wow!
And that's a popular model over there. I wonder what the connection is.
The last time I saw somebody make a big deal about the up tempos was in that Brendan Fraser movie, and I'm kind of giving away. Yeah. Was it George of the Jungle or was it Encino Man?
It was George of the Jungle.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
The up tempo had a real big push. Like, of course, people in our sphere, our culture, man, we always know the up tempos, the Pippins, designed by legendary Black designer Wilson Smith. I always got to throw that out there whenever I can. But G-Dragon and a lot of other Korean artists a couple years ago, man, they had that going up. You know what I'm saying? Like Nike was riding that wave because like in East Asia, man, up tempos were selling out. And it even started to kind of like affect the trend here because, man, we love rap and R&B. We got our favorite, who's the flyest rapper. But like K-pop fans, when one of their groups or artists like something, it's a worldwide phenomenon at that point. Like, if you ever wanted to blow up, like get a K-pop artist to like this show, and I'm never gonna see you again. You're gonna be in another tax bracket. You out of here.
For me, I've never been a fan of up tempos.
So even as not getting the new ones, huh?
Yeah, no, like over the last I don't even want to tell y'all the story. Over the last 2.5 years, I've tried my hardest to like up tempos, and like I can't do it. They look like those what is it? They look like those stompers from the Super Mario Brothers movie.
Oh, the 93 joint. You took it way back.
Come on, man.
You took it way back. So you've never like owned a pair?
No, I've never owned a pair of up tempos. Hey, Larry G said he's never owned a pair either. And Joe LaPuma calling them AIRs. That bothered me too, because I didn't even know what he was talking about. I was trying to figure out what shoe he was going to show her and where he was going, and he just AIR. I'm like, you mean air? And maybe he might have been stunned by her beauty and confused, but
it might have been the sensor bar shirt that had him off.
But like I've never liked them. Now my girl, she likes them. She's different. She likes a lot of like 90s centric models. Mm-hmm. So like she likes the Griffey's and the up tempos
Oh,
and
that's a class right there.
yeah. She likes I don't know, like the complete opposite of what I like, which is good because she made me take a second look at some stuff. And the fact that she likes up tempos, it made that was the reason why I took a second, or well, probably a 100th look at them and just been like, well, maybe I'm missing out on something. But just from the outside, they just look so freaking big. And I mean, I don't have a
They
huge
are.
foot.
Don't get me wrong. It's a silhouette of its time. That's what I'm gonna say. Cause I
Because
own
I was
them,
just
and I plan on getting a new pair because I sold my last one in anticipation for these.
yeah.
It kind of reminds me of when it comes to it being a big model. It's like the
I'm trying to find
jellyfish.
some.
It's deceptively not as big on feet and with the right pair
Okay.
of pants. Like the jellyfish, when I got them, I was like, what am I about to do with these? And then when I put them on, I forgot who I was with, and they was like, "Yo, them joints tough." And then you kind of look down at them, and then you got the right pair, decent sized pants with them, and then you go, "Hold up, we on to something." You see for real rock them. So yeah, for sure. Up
Because
tempos
okay,
are
now
like that.
see, I can kind of get on the side of jellyfishes. It took me a second, but I can't get with the price. I'm in a new mindset as far as sneaker pricing. I don't care if it's resellable or hot or whatever. Um, it's just like up tempos are for me the equivalent of Air Force Ones. Like
It's
the
funny
way
that
up
you mentioned
tempos
that.
look is why I got stopped wearing Air Force Ones.
It's funny that you mentioned that because Larry in the chat was saying he wanted a pair of the Air Force One up tempos. That was a good little collaboration when they put CPFM across the forces. Like the design elements
Hmm.
of the up tempo is dope, but like you said, it's like that
Yeah,
size is crazy.
yeah. And then when they did the CPS ones, when they did all of that, it kind of took away from the fact that the Air Force Ones are so heavy with that midsole, and it gave me an opportunity to say I actually kind of like these. I would actually buy these, but just like a plain Air Force One as a whole, and I know it's blasphemous because in the South, you know, they G Fazos, up north they
Uptowns, white on white.
yeah, yeah, and you know that's everybody's shoe, but like I've done my time. I've said it plenty of times. I've done my time in Air Force Ones. I did the ridiculous thing buying multiple pairs at one time and creasing they gone, and it just I don't know if it's that along with the realization that they look like Herman Monster platform shoes or whatever, but um yeah, I'm just tired of Air Force Ones. Now, every now and then I might find a good one and I might reach out and extend myself for it. But even now I can't do that because they've jacked up the sizing. And I guess that's why they're supposedly going back to the
One,
2001 shape
yeah.
of the Air Force One, which doesn't make sense to me. Why even change it up to begin with? Uh,
I I'm like you, bro. An Air Force One really gotta say something to me. Like the Air Force One is up there with Wheat Tims and old school Vans and Chucks of a shoe that it's a chameleon shoe. Like you're not gonna get made fun of for wearing it. You
right.
could be in sneaker culture if you have it, or you could be a casual person if you wear it. Like you never know. Your fit will probably have to be the deciding factor. But
Yeah.
like you said, I did my time, bro. Like Air Force Ones, not comfortable. We can all admit that.
Right.
The
Yeah.
quality is shit. It's the fact that you have to buy multiple pair in a season to keep that
Yeah.
stigma
Yeah.
of being fresh. Can you imagine, right? Like, let's say a shoe that you care a lot about, a retro 3 or retro 4. Somebody told you about to go, you stupidly buy a pair of True Blue 3s for 230 retail instead of waiting. And the dude at the store, like, yeah, bro, these flying off the shelves. You know, people getting 2 to 3 at a time. After a couple wears, them True Blue 3s cook. You putting them back. You're like, what?
Yeah.
And Nike kind of had this idea like, okay, so they're only like 85, $90. So it's not of a big of a pill to swallow as a $200 shoe. But now
Right.
they triple digits comfortably, and they keep doing little gimmicks like the Yo One shape, or the more you wear them, the cleaner they get, or these come pre-aged. That
Yeah.
is,
Yeah.
it's a weird social experiment, man. And I got a couple pair, like I said, here and there, patent leather this or collaboration that. But no, bro, that's a shoe that if somebody told me you could never get a pair of Forces again, I'm not gonna cry about it.
Right. Right. Definitely one of those staple pieces that, I mean, I'm good with them just being on a shelf
I
somewhere.
respect them. They on the Mount Rushmore of like classic sneakers, but up there with Jordan ones and all them other ones, dunks.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. Yeah.
I will say I like the SB Air Force One. They coming out with premium materials, and they have a different fit. They fit more like SB dunks, so they're not as like shittily crafted. I'm looking at
And
the chat. King Vita said up tempos are a tough sell. See, I want to like them. I really do. But there's just something off about them. They aren't bad at all, but I look at them and I cannot explain it, but something's off. I can't explain it. Facts, bro. It's not for everybody, man. Like I will admit though, this gonna sound weird, and I ain't trying to be a contrarian to King Vita, but I guess people know themselves. But I've never seen somebody ever rock them shittily though.
right. Right.
I've seen some shitty colorways, but I've never seen anybody be like, "Oh, what the fuck are you doing in those up tempos?" I haven't seen it
Right.
yet. It's
Right.
probably out there somewhere.
And that's more than likely because you don't see very many people with up tempos. No shot at up tempos, but like
Yeah,
I haven't seen up tempos consistently on people's feet since like 95.
I haven't seen it like back in 2016 when they had, or 2020, one of those years. Nah, it couldn't be 2020 because I wasn't at that location no more. 2 retros ago, I'm gonna say that, man, and they were coming out with colorway after colorway after colorway. It was after the Supreme up tempo collab hype when they had Supreme replacing the Air, and man, they was making up tempos. It seemed like every release was
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about.
that was
You mean
annoying.
around that time when they did like the Bo Jackson Olympics, and then they had the Olympic up tempos, and
They
they
had the
just went like up
Olympics.
tempo colorway crazy.
They had the ones that had like 3 different colorways. They had yeah, you're
Yeah,
right. They had the City Pack. One was
yeah.
ATL, one was Chicago, and I can't remember what the other one, NYC. And it was like, yeah, nah, we gotta stop. I think the last time I did something up tempo, like I had the ambush low cut ones, which came in crazy colorways. I think I still got those. Those was different. And like Larry was talking about, I got a pair of black CPFM Air Force Ones. Yeah, bro. Like I sold my last pair, and that pair I hadn't worn in years. I'm gonna get this one for because I'm dumb, like because I'm stupid. But like in this market, I know they're not gonna sell out. I can probably get them under retail before release, and this is it's part of the Bulls era three-peat run. Like it has historical context. I'm a sucker for it. Pause, but
Larry G
it's
said, if you're not hooping in up tempos, leave them on the shelf. Like, is it even safe to hoop in up tempos?
if you hooping up tempos in the year of our Lord 2026, you unk, you brave, or you just that good that like a lot of people go,
Right.
they fall for the marketing of shoes. Like, oh man, Jordan was balling because he had Jordans. Bro, you could have put Jordan. Jordan won the collegiate championship in Converse. So you could put the man
Yeah.
in Stacey
Yeah.
Adams and he was going to give you a league MVP contending show every night. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
but yeah, balling in them now. Like, think about the signature athlete with him, Scotty. Scotty, man, he don't get enough credit. Scotty is a generational talent, certified Hall of Famer. The reason Mike got 6, but we could talk about that. Like, another time.
Whew, yeah. Oh
Nobody
yeah.
else was really like putting up numbers in up tempo. At least that version of up tempos, because up tempos is a line. But man,
Right.
he wasn't doing too much damage in them. Like I think Nike gave some of their craziest shoes to their best players because they knew, hey, bro, like go crazy in these.
Speaking of Nike, because Nike owns Converse, I'm gonna need Nike to bring back
Hold up,
Rodman's
Tyrone.
entire line.
Tyrone, I'm not saying Mike wouldn't have got 6 without Pippen. I'm just saying he didn't start. It's a team sport, fam. That's all I'm saying, bro. It's a team sport. I ain't trying to start no beef, bro. I love Mike. I'm not a LeBron versus Mike type. Nah, I ain't gonna do none of that slander. He played for my Wizards. I love to do. But it's just like it was a relationship. After Mike left, Scotty came close. He never got one solo, and Mike ain't never get one after that. I love you, bro. I ain't gonna do that, bro. I ain't do no Mike slander up in here.
But I need Nike to bring back all of Rodman's Converse silhouettes, because at the time when they first dropped, a lot of people were like, these shits is crazy, they controversial, but it was two silhouettes in particular that I absolutely loved. I had both of them. I didn't know they were both Rodmans, but crazy. Had them as a kid.
Was he with Converse before or after Nike?
I think he was with Converse before.
Okay.
I think like when he first well, I don't know when did he start. When did Rodman start dyeing his hair? Because one of the shoes that he had was based off of the sole fact that he dyed his hair. And hold on, let me see if I can find that picture. I'm gonna find it. I'm gonna find that.
The hair dye era was like mid 90s, 96, 95.
I gotta go to Reddit.
Man, I got a conspiracy theory. I think Nike about to sell Converse off.
I can believe that.
When I saw them move SGA from Converse after he had a popular and decent selling signature shoe, I was like, yeah, why would y'all move him to Nike? Then I look at some of their signature skaters because I follow Cons, their skate brand. Like some of them have silhouettes and they never got sequels. Like some of them even stopped producing the signature line that they had. It's a skater, Alexis Sablone. She had the AS1, which was like a big deal. She's like a female skater and had some hype. She even had a collab with SB Dunk. She had a Dunk and a Converse at the same time. But that was like years ago. Like she I don't know if they still even making colorway. She definitely didn't get a 2. So I'm just like, oh, y'all saw shut down shop. Chat saying Rodman dyed his hair in 93. See, that was the year I was born, 90. So I missed that. I missed that.
Okay. Because so Nike has to cut bait with stuff that's not working, because Nike in trouble, man.
Yeah.
Nike is in trouble, and as much as I don't even know if they're trying to hide the fact that they're in trouble, but they clearly can't be hiding the fact that they're in trouble with all of these silhouettes that were super limited that they're releasing. Like a lot of people say, they just opened up the vault and just let everything fly. But they're in trouble in terms of Nike kind of trouble. So
yeah, I call it first world problems, because like everyone's like, yo, is Nike dead? I always ask people who ask that. So let's say Nike loses its popularity, they lose market share, the profits drop. Are you going to stop wearing them though? Like, I don't care how unpopular Nike and Jordan becomes. I'm not getting rid of mine. And if it's a model or a color or retro that I want, I'm going to still get it. I might not pay retail for it. But like, I'm not going to replace my entire wardrobe with a different brand. And I say first world problems because, and this is not saying the other brands aren't worth anything, because I got everything in my closet. Vans realistically is not going to make Nike numbers. Adidas is second place comfortably. It's not like it's a 51-49% market split between the big two. No, it's Nike's ahead.
Right.
Other brands are taking market share. So now they split and apply with Asics and Brooks and Saucony. But we're not gonna wake up in 5 years going, man, whatever happened to Nike? Like, that's not because it's my favorite brand or anything like that. It's just
Right.
statistically, that's just not gonna be a thing that we say. But you're right, they got
So
first world problems.
so this is I had to go through Reddit, man. I had to go through my subreddit group, and I had to find this dude because this dude, he literally posts every day. And even though he, likes to argue with people, he get engagement. I ain't gonna lie. So shout out to him. But these are the Converse on the right, and then the Nike, and it looked like a Reebok at one point that Dennis Rodman had on the left. But
I know that.
The top right and the third right are the two Converse that I had that were Rodman signature shoes.
Did he not put the Indestructs on
here? They might be at the bottom. Let me see.
Okay, I was about to say water.
Yeah.
Water.
Yeah.
Shout out to the chat, man. They cooking. King Vita said, personally, I think you should rock whatever you want, regardless of popularity. If someone goes, Nike is trash, that's an opinion, not a fact. I agree. Larry says Nike never disappearing. I'm with you, bro. It's just,
and at the worst,
no,
at the worst, if people stop really caring about Nike, and you, for a lot of us, because we've got like hundreds of pairs of shoes, or at least 50 pairs of shoes, or whatever. People stop caring about Nike. At least at some point, you pull out a pair of shoes and they still look good, and somebody see you walk in and you give them nostalgic vibes and a conversation piece, and it might lead you back to being personal with people. You're like, hey, I remember when I had a pair of those, or something like that. Something interesting to talk about.
Dude, that gets me. A lot of my eBay deep dives come from me walking somewhere and seeing somebody with something, and I go, damn, I remember those. Right. How much they going for now? Like, or are they still? That's how I ended up getting those 23s. Like, I saw a homie wearing them, not the pair that I got, the Stealths, but he was wearing like the Carolina or titanium pair. Yeah. Whichever one was the least rare. And I was like, bro, where did you get those? He said, bro, this is my pair from like 08. And I immediately had to hump for him.
Because I don't know if you saw these, but oh Jesus Christ, these are beat to. I mean, well, they're not beat, but time has not been kind. I'll say that. Let me see. These are, and this is a colorway that I am a big advocate that needs to come back, of the 13. This only released one time and has never retroed. But these are from no, they're not called Linens. They're called something else. But
I just kind of made that up. I don't even remember what those are.
Yeah, got the baby blue outsole, gray, white upper with the baby blue Jumpman on the tongue. And you can see the it's nasty work right there. But even the tag is cracked and coming, just tearing up. But these were from, I think these are like 2004, if I remember correct. Let me see, what's the date on it? Oh
shit, 2004. What? I was like 11.
Yeah,
I don't think 13s was on my radar.
October 27, 2004. And then it's even got that style of text on the bottom.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, man, this is kind of reaching back, in the sense of reaching back. This right here is getting to the point where, like, you look at like 90s Jordans. It's like that cusp. And I'm gonna restore them and wear them. but because I mean, it's got very minimal separation. It's separating there, but other than that, man, the shoe is fine. It needs to be, it needs to be iced and stuff like that on the pods, but the materials for this, thick leather, great materials. And I can kind of understand how people say, man, I wish that we went back to the old quality of materials. But if you want materials like that, man, just understand we're gonna have to pay for it with the way that they charge us for bullshit materials now, or thinner materials.
Which is crazy because there's been many times where Joy has sold us disrespectful shit that we should have like filed a class action lawsuit on.
Yeah.
But the moral is we're willing to pay, like, as the prices rise up until this current generation where we kind of like, all right, enough. But we slowly saw ones climb up to 180. We're looking at $200 plus 3s and 4s. Meanwhile, they'll release brand new tech. You seeing new tech in hoop shoes. You seeing the new Jordan signature models introduce technologies that people are ranting and raving about on court. You got new models coming out for these generational athletes that's only 130. Kobe's getting protros. So like if there's a reason that you're charging more, like better materials, new technology, crazy colorways that require more materials and stuff, man, we'll pay it, bro. But like make it worth our while. Don't give me a shoe from 1989 that's not as good as the one from 1989.
Right.
And even if you factor in inflation, you still overcharging.
And don't give it to me in limited numbers, man. Let me be able to get it.
Yeah, like I think Nike is realizing that they can't just outright start making prices lower immediately, because I think that's going to raise too many questions. People are like, so why was I paying XYZ before? It's kind of like when McDonald's redid their chicken nuggets and they was like, now with all white meat. And motherfuckers was like, so what was it made out of before? But they did it so subtly, you ain't really noticed. I feel like Nike's like, hey, this shoe is worth, I'm gonna be generous and say it took $50, including shipping to the US to get this shoe, right? So as long as we make $60, we getting a $10 margin, a profit margin. So
and I know that's been my biggest problem throughout life, because to the McDonald's reference that you made, I noticed when they stopped making real chicken nuggets. It was the last time I had McDonald's, I was 13 years old, like 13 or 14. So that was like 2000. And I noticed that the chicken nuggets weren't the same as before. And it was a quick switch, but
back. But like I was saying that like they know this shoe, probably they'll start making a profit on it if it's 65, $60. So what they do is, knowing that the market is crazy right now, they'll list it at 220. And like King Vita said, they give out garbage, we buy garbage. But now we're starting to go, nah, bruh, StockX got it under retail before release date. So we get it on sale. But even with that sale price, I feel like that's the price that it should have been initially. So while we think we're, fuck Nike, I'm getting it at 190 instead of that 240. Nike in their mind going, dumbass, it really is supposed to be 190. And I think because think we're getting over at that sale price, Nike might do the whole, you got us guys, we'll start making them 190 again. And with that, they'll come limited numbers. So our mentality going, now that they 190, if I wait even longer, it's gonna be 150. But if they make it limited, they're not gonna sit at that 190. That's that price point we've been wanting. I feel like I like I said, working with the brand and beyond the product, the marketing team, that's what the big wigs are. You know, like that's the conversation that we have and that we speculate on, trust and believe they're having them, had them, reworked them, and about to roll them out. It takes 2 years for an initiative to really get cemented and start seeing mass retail. When certain models are super limited again, and when things, the content strategy changes, we're gonna look back at this and be like, damn, okay.
I'm trying to figure out what made them think it was okay to do what they did, because I know that they had to have known that it wasn't, the fictitious price increases weren't going to last long. But I don't think they thought about how they would recover from the price increases, or they could have just been that ignorant to where they thought that the price increases were going to just
stick.
Yeah, that's crazy. I don't know.
I
Man.
noticed it while working in sneakers. One subtle thing, I'm gonna see if you pick up on this. A lot of people didn't realize they started taking the suggested market retail sticker off boxes.
Yeah.
Like back in the day when that wasn't on there, people would be like, "Oh, that's a fake box," because we were so used to seeing it. But slowly but surely, Nike was like, "Yo, take that off." Like we were instructed in stores when we stock product to take it off, and now certain boxes don't even come with it. And to King
When was that, like 2019, 2020?
Yeah, bro, you hit it right on the head. It was around that time. It was like 2018. That was my last year at the Nike store that I worked at. They was like, "Yo, go ahead. You can start ripping that suggested MSRP off."
Yeah, because I still got MSRP tags on some of my boxes.
Like King Vito is right, bro. Enough is enough. And to your point, like you said, what made them think they could do it? The Space Jam controversy that just happened was the reason why. They really just kind of, you notice they were so ready to pull back that number because they threw that 250 out there to see if we'd fuck with it. Like, if they really was serious about it, they'd be like, the price is the price. We're the big dogs. Y'all gonna pay. Y'all gonna be Space Jam list. They know it's a buyer's market. They know if they don't do what it takes. They made 1 million of those Space Jams. We really in the era where vaulted shoes from the girl like Undefeateds set. We got Union Jordan 1s and brick after bricks barely going for above retail. And when you factor in fees, you just getting your money back. So they couldn't swing their nuts around with that 250. Everybody got mad, said, like King Vita said, enough is enough. And to be honest, I don't think they scaled the price back far enough for me.
Right.
But like, yeah, people starting to tell them, Nike, bro, I'll go without, bro. And then they make too much shit. So yeah, I missed out after a brick after brick. That sucks. But I still can go get the Toros for 130. So who gives a shit? You know what I'm saying? Like they're their own worst enemy with that.
Right. Let me see.
Ones?
Exactly, the original one.
Yeah.
And for those who don't know, what is like that group of kids?
They like.
I don't care.
Or like it was just a bunch of like.
I mean,
You're saying that like you have a lot of shoes, or boxes just coming to you, or what? Describe what that's like.
It's like Christmas.
Okay.
Yeah, every time I get surprised, I get a box of little shoes.
Okay, I don't care about that either.
Something that you love.
Yeah. It's like
flexing.
Like a flex.
Yeah, exactly. And I know that like you debuted the DN8. It was like this red shoe, and they sent that early. But like, how is it like being down with Nike essentially?
It's fine.
Gorgeous.
I love Nike. I remember.
There she go. There she go with that. There they go with that Nike.
Yeah.
With that Nike.
I ain't about to lie. Like I said, I barely heard a word she said. I'm like, girl, just move a little to the side again.
There she go with that doggone Nike. Let me see if I can
It's so funny that he mentioned that they sent her the DN8. Like, boy, the 5 people that bought that
yeah, like the DN8.
Yeah.
So
they started off good. And the DN8 had some really good colorways, but it just, I think Nike had already shot itself in the foot with all of like the Travis Scott kind of stuff and the collab stuff. And I think people started at that time, people had started to really see like the bullshit of Nike, and where Nike say, okay, well, because we know you can't get this, we just gonna drop this at the same time, and you're gonna like it, and you're gonna buy it. And people just got pissed off and was like, nah, fuck that, I'm good. Like, keep your fucking DN8s, your 8 and 8s, your 808s.
I don't think I've seen, outside of an influencer or content creator, anybody, and I'm from the DMV, so it's sneakers, bro. I haven't
Yeah.
seen anybody wear a pair of Scorpions.
I don't even know what them. Oh, I do know what those are.
Wait, I said
But
Scorpions. I'm wrong as shit. That's not
yeah, I
even
was gonna say
new.
because I was gonna say, didn't they
That
like
was
do a
back in,
limited run of those, like the
yeah, I meant to
Ispas or
say,
whatever?
the Liquid Max, this year's model. See, I forgot what it was called, the Poison Dart Frogs. I'm thinking of all
I ain't
types
even
of
seen
different.
them. I ain't
It's
seen them, and I
it's
don't
this
care.
year's model, bro, and I have not seen one human IRL
And
wear
you know
that
what?
shit.
You know why I don't care about any of that stuff, and I like runners and things like that, but I've gotten to the point to where um the Jordans and like the Nikes that everybody wants are so ridiculously expensive, and then the other shoes are so ridiculously limited that I'm not for like constellation shit. I'm not
Mhm.
for constellation shit, and I can sniff constellation shit from a mile away. And then I can also at this point tell when they just throw out colorways. They throw out colorways because they're hoping that you'll see something in a color that works with your style and you'll just grab that because you can't get what you really want. So I'm so far removed from that bullshit that I just don't care. I haven't to Tyrone Turner Sr.'s question, are we looking at any shoes later on down the line or plan to get anything later on down the line? You know, we'll
Couple
kind of
things.
answer that and talk about that and you know touch that subject in a little bit. But to be honest, I don't give a shit. Like and it's crazy to say because there are so many good shoes that are still dropping towards the end of the year,
Mhm.
but I really don't give a shit because um I got the only shoe that I really care about this year. And I I don't know what Jordan Brand did, and I'm pretty sure I can identify it. I just can't articulate it right now. But I don't know what Jordan Brand did where they kind of flipped a off switch with me when it comes to just like shoes in general. They flipped an off switch to where like the switch was on where I'd be looking out for stuff and kind of thinking about, you know, do I, you know, need it or do I want it or do I like it? And if I like it, do I want to get it? You know, just going through those different emotions and thought processes, they hit that switch and it's like, okay, it's a shoe, whatever. Uh, and I for the most part, I don't really feel a way about it.
Yeah, it's certain shoes that I've convinced myself are undeniable classics that's coming out this year, like Space Jams. Now that the price is lower and I see them going on sale or being easy to get because they just made so many. Yeah, I don't have
Yeah,
a pair anymore. But it's not like I'm getting it and I got this. I still got the 2016s and my 2016s are gone. Bread fours are my favorite Jordan. I've got several pair, but they're all each showing their signs of wear. Like you can tell which one was which release.
yeah.
Um, and I love keeping a pair in the rotation, so I plan on getting those. There's a couple other ones that haven't been retro that I'm more excited for. Ginger 16s, College Blue 17s. If I could come up on the free to use 16s, I'm taking the shroud off, might throw those on. But like you
I don't
said,
like those.
without the shroud or with the shroud reverse, I can appreciate them. But if I gotta put in footwork, like you said, that switches off. Like if I go into my boutique and they're
Yeah,
in there, or I enter a raffle and they go, "Congrats." Yeah, but don't let that aftermarket price get too crazy. Cause I'm gonna be like, wow, bye. Like I'm not crying if I get, like you said back in the day, bro. You see a shoe that's coming out and it was a legit. You hit the comments, you liked, you reposted, you said need, you
right,
probably set an alarm on your phone. You had your chicken to the side, knowing hell, high water, retail, resale. I gotta get, bro. Nothing does
right,
that for me, bro.
right,
It's just
right.
it's gone. Like me being a Wizards fan, seeing Jordan at MCI Center, loving certain models past 14. Hey, square up with me about those Ginger 16s and them College Blue 17s. But like, am I still gonna feel that way when I hit the notification on sneakers? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So
But what is
we'll see.
this?
What
I
are
just
you
seen.
feeling outside of Nike Jordan, if anything? Like, do you care about like the Yeezys coming back to retail, or
So I talked about that in not last week because I didn't do anything last week. I talked about that the week before last about the Yeezys coming back to JD Sports, and that is that is one of the most interesting things to me. That is the most interesting thing within the culture to me of shoes as a whole. That and it just says in volumes that no matter what Kanye does, he is always going to have the support of the people, despite what his political despite what his world views are, because I don't even think his views are politically based. I just think they're world views based on what he sees. But despite all of that, people are still going to support because when I forgot whoever dropped the imagery and posted it on Instagram, there were people in the comment section that was like fire, like they were giving reactions that I have not seen since like 2023. Fire. Somebody was like, who still wears Yeezys? And then somebody commented, are you crazy? Everybody still wears Yeezys. And when they drop at JD finish line, I'm gonna get pairs. Like the comments were more positive than negative. And the weird thing about it is, the weird thing about it is the quality of the Yeezys compared to Adidas, from what I've seen, is subpar.
I've seen hit or miss. I watched Rose
Right.
Anvil take a
Right.
like the higher price point Yeezys, like Wave Runners. I was surprised how much boost cushioning, how premium materials were for a mass market retail shoe. But that shoe $300.
Right.
So yeah, I'm
But see, he
expecting
doesn't.
it to be better than the Ultra Boost or something.
So he doesn't have the Wave Runners anymore and stuff like that.
He's got an 800 that he just teased.
So, and we're gonna talk about that too. We're gonna talk about that. So like his slide shoes, and I got them upstairs because I didn't know we were gonna. I didn't think that I was gonna get into like the Kanye talk that deep, but those are pretty good for what they were. For what they are, I paid $20 for them.
Me too. And for $20, I was impressed. I mean, I do realize that when you buy them in bulk, he was probably paying like $3 a slide. But what was the price point on the Adidas ones? They were like 80 at retail.
Like 60 or $80. Yeah.
So like for them to be a fraction of the price, you take away the brand. Now durability, I can't tell you how long they're gonna last in comparison to the Adidas ones, but out of the shipment box straight to feet, man, pound for pound, I'm going with the Yeezys.
Yeah.
Saving some bread.
So I ended up with the ones that look like Goofy's shoes, and they comfortable. Like they do get hot, they do get sweaty, but they are comfortable for what they are for $20. I picked these up.
Oh, the pods. Oh dear.
Yo, I'm not even gonna lie to you. I don't know how. I cannot even explain it, but these are comfortable as whatever they are. And it's I don't know, because as thin as it looks, it's cushioned, and then the sock part is made from a thick, like soft material. So It's incredible to explain. At one point I was gonna do a video on it. I didn't do the video, of course, but it's just mind blowing. So,
Uncle. Oh man.
Uncle Alert. 440 joules, Uncle Alert. Hey, man. Hey. I appreciate it. Tyrone. Appreciate you, man. Tyrone said, could give a damn about Kanye. Never been a slides cat, but hope everyone that loves them can cop for the new low. And you know what, Tyrone, I was on the same, look, I was on the same wavelength as you. I didn't care not a damn bit about slides because my experience with slides were terrible. Like I could never keep them on my feet, nothing like that. I think I talked about it. The first pair of slides I ever bought was the Nike Comfort Zoom 2 slides because they had like memory foam in the joints and you could adjust the top. Now that was the one that I found out I needed. I think I bought those on a whim. I think I bought them for when I went to vacation on to Kenya, and that was the first time I ever had like purchase slides. But it wasn't the first time I had tried slides, and I loved those. Nobody could tell me nothing about those. And then like the second pair of slides were these joints right here. And what are these? The comfort or yeah,
Comfort.
But these are absolutely great, and you can adjust them. But these are absolutely great because they've got the thick midsole, which makes them very durable, especially for the price. So, like, those are my everyday slides. It makes it, it gives you like a stable footing, and all of that. So, yeah, I'm definitely with you on slides, and I know how you feel. But sometimes you got to actually jump out there and try it. Now, if you do decide to try a slide, and I'm gonna tell y'all, Nike got this new slide coming out, $250.
Oh, the hyper warm joint shoes.
Yeah, for $250, them slides, it look like it's got the same memory foam as the slides that I was talking about previously.
Isn't it like a slide version of the hyper ice boot?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're on the same page.
They massage your feet and they have a heating element to it. For $250, I could absolutely be on the same wavelength as those slides. I don't care. I don't care. I could spend that $250.
How do you feel? Like, let's take the gimmicks, the run around of it out of the equation. You go into an outlet store, they retail under. Honest thoughts on the minds. I know you've done content on them. You got some pairs. Like, where we at with them? If you went into a store, they was like $50. You walking out with them?
Because what are they, like $90?
Yeah, MSRP, yeah, $90.
Okay, so the $90 I was willing to pay for the trial of them to just like see what they're about. The resale, absolutely not. Tyrone said going on a cruise in October, but can't do $250. Tyrone, I'm telling you,
I wouldn't even bring them because if room service magically lose them joints, everybody on the ship is getting 2-piece with a biscuit, bro.
Tyrone,
come on now, dog. Come on, man.
Like $250, I'm telling you, the way they say they doing what they doing, it's only going to amplify your cruise experience. You know, we only getting older. We ain't getting no younger. And you're gonna need that heat on your feet from them long walks around that big old boat. You're gonna need the heat on your feet, and you're gonna need the massage element. So, like, look, you done spent more for like ridiculous pairs of shoes. Go ahead and put that $250 on them slides, brother.
My only reservation is I know Nike. I know them boys in Oregon. They'll sell you a dream. I need a I need a Fomer Simpson, Seth Fowler. So this is me 6 months after wearing the new advanced Nike Hyper Slides. So, like, how do they hold up after wearing them on my feet for all day over the past 30 days? Like, I need one of them videos, bro.
Right.
Because I don't want to be on phone with tech support trying to get a warranty replacement for my slides that caught fire on the charger or some shit like that.
Right. But to get back to your question about the Mind 001 slides, so resale, I'm not willing to pay. Like, they're absolutely not worth resale. Shout out to everybody that paid resale for it. They're not worth it. Like, you all were bamboozled. $50. Like, I don't know how much were the comfort slides. Like
Probably
$50.
Yeah, how much were Rejuvenates? Because that was their big hype before the Mind shit came out. Like
Rejuvenates is ass.
Bro, I thought I was the only one that thought. Now I'm not gonna say they are ass, but you remember it was a point where you had to be following like social networks to know when to restock because they were selling out. They were in sneaker stores on the desk. They was like front and center next to the Labubu. And I'm like, yo, like the colorways were crazy. LeBron was walking in the tunnel with them. I'm like, yo, what's up with these? And when I finally got a pair, I was all like, so Crocs.
Right.
Like I felt duped.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I was pissed. And like now
So
you can get them at like $19, which now for $19 for some house shoes, some little water shoes at the water. Yeah, if you go in the Water Country USA, rejuvenated up.
Because that's basically what they were in the beginning. That's what they should have been advertised as.
That would have been smart.
But like, if I can pay $50 and be comfortable paying $50 for some comfort slides, then like I could pay $50 for some Mind slides. The thing about the Mind slides though that gets everybody is the gimmick of the life-altering, mind-changing slides, and I talked about it to a certain extent. They can be life-changing, they can be mind-altering. But to what level are they life-changing and mind-altering? Now, is Nike doing a lot or misleading? Unlike Rose Anvil, I don't. This is where we part ways, because I don't think they misled people. I just think Nike did commercialing and
marketing.
And people's imagination took it and ran with it. Because when they said life-changing, mind-altering, they didn't say how. They just said it does.
It's like a placebo, you know what I'm saying?
Right, which
it'll inspire you to think a certain way. And science proves when you think a certain way, whether it's backed by like physical science or not, the mental science does the gapping for you. It does the rest of the work.
Yeah. And it's funny you say that, because I talked about that. I've talked about it several times, and I feel like, they don't hear me. But if you look at the advertisement for the Nike Mind Slides when they first dropped, they're in a pill bottle.
I never saw that.
They are in a pill bottle. Let me see if I can.
Because I'll have the picture at retail, and you get your right size. I can't speak to anything neurologically or scientifically, but they're comfortable.
Yes, they are.
And I like that weird, ugly Cybertruck looking thing on feet. Like when I got them, because I got them at retail from Shields. Shields is the cheat code. I got an app notification on the day of release. I got the black pair with the orange nodes at the bottom. I watched a couple reviews. They said size up, so I got a size up. Thank God I did. And immediately putting them on feet. And it wasn't.
You notice a difference.
Yeah, I didn't have a hard day's work, man. The package came like 10 a.m. I had just rolled out of bed not too long ago. And even with rested, non-swollen feet, I was like, oh, damn, these joints are like shit. Like, I was excited. The only reason I didn't keep them is because I had posted a pic And one of my homies is in the resale game. He's got a shop. He was like, "Yo, I'll give you 300 for those." And I was like,
Oh
"And
yeah,
here
they
you
gotta
go."
go.
I
Yeah,
said,
they gotta
"And here
go.
you go, fool." Like, I'll drop them off. And what time y'all open? They on the way.
So, this is part of Nike's presser for the Mind Slides. They're literally in a pill bottle.
Wow. Yo, you
And I said that when I was overviewing the things that Nike was talking about. And I even mentioned that. I asked the question, you know, is it a placebo effect, or is it really doing what they say that it's doing? And Nike never really says that
yay or nay.
it's doing anything special. That's the thing about it. Nike never says they're doing anything, it's doing anything special. And as a matter of fact, where they have the red ones in a pill bottle, the original image was the pill bottle standing upward. You can see the Nike label on the front, and it's the white pair that's in the pill bottle. But
It reminds me of that line that Morpheus tells Neo in the first Matrix. When he was all like, "I thought you said this wasn't real." And he leans over to him and is like, "Your mind makes it real."
right. Right. So wearing them, they're definitely comfortable. Depending on the thickness of your sock, or if you just wear them barefoot,
Which
you
is
definitely
crazy,
feel
bro.
you definitely feel the nodes in them. You feel them more if you wear them barefooted, versus
with
with
thicker socks to interrupt the experience.
yeah. Now people say the 002s, the nodes are more
Defined.
more pronounced when you
H has a
walk.
pair of those, and he says it's a difference.
But like from what I mean, I've had a good experience. I don't have a wide foot, so I didn't have to go up a size, but like you said, I do recommend the average person who has never experienced it and wants to experience it because of their limitedness in nature. If you don't want to pay resale, just go up a size. Just bite the bullet and just go up a size. Even if you don't have a narrow foot, and that's what I'm pushing now, is for people to understand their foot type and what's really going on. But even if you don't have a wide foot, just go up a size. It's not gonna, hurt anything. But yeah, it's just funny you mentioned that, because yeah, it's in a pill bottle.
I remember your coverage about the mines, because I try to support content whenever I can from the homies. I know you got that burgundy-ish pair, and I remember you did that stream. Like, yeah, Jeff Staple, you dumbass. Like, I know we're a minority. He's all like, because he was like, Nike's not, like, CNN's just covering these shoes, and all the retros they're not covering, but they're covering these. And I'm just like,
Right.
I said, brother, there's no adult who has received mail that is a bill in their name that does not know that sneakerheads are the niche in the market. Like,
Right.
For you to be an OG, to have one of the most popular SB dunks of all time that has a streetwear brand that's lasted for decades, you can't think you breaking news with this, right?
Right. And that's my problem with Jeff Staples. Now I'm not like a hater of Jeff Staples. I'm more of a hater of like bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
And
he can chuck it. He can chuck
it. Yeah. Jeff Staples is one of the biggest bullshitters I've seen in this space. Like, what, to be in his position, to be so influential, he's one of the biggest bullshitters in this space, from knowingly taking a fake pair of shoes, waiting for somebody to be around him to recognize him and throw him up on the power line because he knew what kind of reaction that he was going to get, to him just saying the dumbest shit that he said about, being the minority and nobody really caring. It's just like Jeff, when every single time I hear him talk, I just want to take my hand, put it on his shoulder and say, Jeff,
my boy,
what's the fucking point? Do you want to? You're really that hard up for relevancy that you're gonna do the dumbest shit possible, and you're gonna say the most obvious dumbest shit just to stay relevant. Like, make another fucking shoe, man. Talk to Nike, make another shoe, put some grease on the wheels, get the wheels turning again, and you'll get the level of relevancy that you're looking for. But right now, like, what you doing, it ain't doing it. It's not doing it, my guy.
Because I respect Jeff Staples as a pioneer in the space. He's one of the big factors why
Mhm.
Nike SB had that coveted run of like underrated underground classics after he released the Pigeon. But like you said, it's what can I say that's gonna spark debate? And he doesn't do it in like it's like he wants to be edgy, but it comes off as try hard. Like somebody will
Right.
say something like the movers and the shakers in the industry now. I'm looking at like Joe Fresh Goods, Angelo Baque, J Tips. Like they are doing their thing without sacrificing their identity or their character. Like Jeff, bro, he tried to be thought provoking when he asked that question when he was confronted on the fakes. When he was all like, but if the dude loves the shoe, does it matter what factory it came from?
It
Yes.
absolutely does
Yes,
matter.
brother,
Yes.
because if you can just get a
Yes.
replica pair at any point, half of the allure of a grail of a coveted item is the work you got to do for it. If
And we're gonna talk about replicas too.
if
We're gonna talk about
Hellcats
that.
cost the same as Honda Civics, realistically, just facts, bro, they wouldn't have the allure. And now, is that a problem
Right.
with our society? Hey, man, argue that in philosophy class. But, bro, like that was of all the times I've given Jeff Staples his flowers and recognized him in the space, bro, it just threw me off. I said, did this man really try to say,
Yeah.
the man that threw some fakes up there, but shouldn't they be just as important as if I threw a real pair up there? No, brother, because that fake pair probably was like $80 on DHgate, and a real pair can pay off somebody the rest of their mortgage. Like, what are you actually talking about?
You know what? Just with that analogy alone, that's kind of eating at me because that raises a hard question for me. Because I like Dodge. But if a Honda costs the same price as a Hellcat, now when we talking about price, are we talking about like the 6-figure price, or are we talking about like the $40,000 price range?
Like, you go and get the works on a Hellcat right off the factory floor, current year model, and he goes, for you, based off your credit score and your love of Dodge, hey man, we're doing the flash sale, 40K is yours. No previous owner. The only mileage came from bringing it into the showroom floor. Like, now, keep in mind though, you still thinking in current reality. If anybody would be stupid to pass that up. But like, if they were run of the mill, it's kind of like with shoes. Man, I need the undefeateds, bro. I need those. Those are my grail. It was the first retro. They go for 30K. Now you can get them at 220, 250. I could wait. Some other stuff
Right.
coming out this year. It's like,
Right.
it matters, bro. As much as people say I buy what I like, you could still do that, but you can also acknowledge certain things have an allure because not necessarily they're unattainable. The means to
Yeah.
attain them require more. There's
Yeah,
a
if I could get a
reason-
Hellcat at 40,000, I'm picking a Hellcat over
Bro.
a Honda.
you know
Even though
what I'm saying?
Hondas are reliable. I love you, Honda. Hey,
Price
either
of health.
one, y'all want to hook a brother up? Dodge, Honda.
If a
I'm here.
Durango was the same price as a RAV4, if a F-150 Raptor, you know what I'm saying, was the same price as Model 3 Tesla, bro. Come on, man. Like, we know how your mind going to skew. So Jeff, yes, bro, it being a fake does make a difference. And then his defense is like, is it are you chasing the product or are you chasing the hype, bro? It's symbiotic, bro. Sometimes you can't separate hype from product. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Just admit the fact that I think the thing that also pissed me off with that stunt was like, what was it for? Like everyone assumed Nike's retroing. Is Nike retroing the pigeon? Is he going to do a new colorway of the pigeon? Is he releasing a? No, bro. He just did it, and I'm just like,
Yeah.
bro. King Vita said that's a trick though. I need a car. Well, yeah, I get what you're saying, Vita. I wasn't saying it as in like you did. Like I'm saying, like in a perfect world, bro, you just shopping around and the dude like,
Right.
you want this Hellcat for 40K. Like even if
Right.
I didn't need a
And
car,
ain't
bro,
nothing wrong
I
with
was
it. You
I
gonna
would still
sweat
be
on
like,
that decision.
yeah, I'm
Right. You
still gonna
gonna
be like,
sweat on
whoa.
that.
Yo, like I'm a legit like it's gonna be like those movies where a dude make a wish and it's a backfire side. I'll be like, bro, what is this?
Right.
Satan's dealership, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like when you factor in the need, hey brother, throw me in a Kia Sorrento. I don't give a shit, but I need a car, bro. I gotta go to work. But it's like sneakers, bro. We
So
don't actually need Nike, but like, I mean, if I got the option, you can
I
get
don't
some.
know if you've seen this video right here. And I don't know how I even came across this video. But in this video, this lady is doing some nefarious things. Now, this video comes from DTB Ty
I
or
already know where we're going.
Dirty Boy Ty. And him and his girl are in the gym.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And the audacity of some people, and of course, y'all know it's got to be sneaker related. Otherwise, you know, it wouldn't have made it tonight. But I'm going to show y'all this video and make sure that the world can see this video real good. Let me see. Let me go ahead and enlarge this from Dirty Boy Tay.
Bro,
Okay.
this was I almost thought it was a sketch when I first saw it.
Excuse me, miss. Thank you.
She tied his dog hella tight. But them dirty works.
Oh, dang. I forgot. They up there playing that. They up there playing that music.
I didn't even notice it for a second.
So
He said,
hold on.
Hold up.
Let me go to the video that shows the whole thing. And it's got the little saxophone song playing in it. So I don't know if I can actually play that. Let me see. This lady you can see this lady, she's tying up, choking a pair of true blue Jordan 3s. And at first you say, well, what's wrong with this? Then you realize the true blue Jordan 3s belong to this dude right here, DTB Ty. For whatever reason, this lady decided she wanted to play the Grand Escape Klepto Edition, and literally, while this guy is sitting in front of his shoes, lace his shoes up on her feet and grab her Berkeys and walk off. But luckily enough,
the time that he took to like time to secure him, and she just would have picked him up and walked out. Like, why did you like all this time before he even noticed that she had him? She should have just grabbed him like she did her Birkenstocks and walked out with him.
Right. And
she shouldn't have done it at all, mind you.
That's wild, which makes it feel like it's a skit.
My favorite comment was, nah, wrong, bro. You should have let her walked out, then press charges. Then he was like, then not make the first couple court dates thinking she got away with it and show up on the last day like, gotcha, bitch.
But to just when you think sneakers are falling off or Jordans are falling off, they keep pulling you back.
Baby, for the price of that membership, you could have got a pair under retail, I'm sure. Just wait like a week. And they'd be brand new too, and your size. Like, would you stealing them for your man?
And she looking around like, I don't.
Yeah, she might be like a seasoned thief.
Yeah. A klepto, because she didn't even
even her size. Like, why did you? It's crazy. I'm not trying to make this a culture war, but it's always like certain people when things happen most recently in the news with the situation with the young man at the convenience store. Didn't even steal water bottles and got laid out for it. Literally lost his life. And this person is like actively stealing someone's property in front of them. And it's just like in the world we live in where people are getting shot for being accused of stealing. Why would you do something like this?
Right. And
Like,
he even tagged the gym he was at and was like, what the hell is going on? Like, you let these kind of people in there. That's the only reason why I knew it wasn't fake.
and he got a
But
good
she just,
heart, cause like the comment said, I'm like, yeah, sure, I would have let you walk out with him and had the full intent of stealing them. I would have pressed charges on you.
I don't know. Like, I don't hit women, but I do slap thieves. So,
Yeah, I wouldn't hit it. Like I said, I would have went litigious because I'm not tripping off the value of the shoe. I'm tripping off the audacity that you
I'm
thought you
tripping
could
off.
do that.
I'm tripping off all of it, and you're gonna trip not only because they not your size, but because I'm finna slap you across the back of your head. And once you fall and hit the floor, I'm taking my shoes off your feet.
Yeah,
Like,
that's
I'm
one
not
of the
even giving you.
like, and he let her walk away. Like, I would have embarrassed her. It would have been like a line of questioning being like, so why do you think it was okay to do this? Like, walk me. It's like when they catch somebody on one of those stings when they like go to the sting
How
house
to
to
catch a
meet up with a
predator?
kid. Yeah, it's all like Chris Hansen. So, what are we doing here tonight? Why are we here? Can you tell me what was going on in your mind? You couldn't find anyone your own age to hang out with? Have a seat. You know how this looks, right? Like I would have Chris Hansen the shit out of him. Like, you know how this looks, right? Are these even your size? Are you a big fan of Michael Jordan? Did you own that? Have you ever owned a pair of threes? Do you know that they're on sale right now on the aftermarket? You could have had them under retail. Like I would have been like,
I,
yo, the fuck?
King Vita, I don't even think she had a point. I think that's why when he finally, noticed, I think that's why she stopped and just was like, okay,
You got
here's
it.
your shoes back. Yeah.
And shout out
I don't
him too, cause like he didn't do the chud to build the chimp out. He was like, "Excuse me, miss, yeah, go ahead and run those." Cause like you said, you'd be tempted to smack fire out the back of this woman's head. Him being a man, being black, being in public, she could have pressed charges on him. The gym could have banned him. Um, it could have been that discourse of black people can only handle things with violence. So he
right.
handled it real well, man. Cause
And you know what the thing about that? I don't care about none of that. Cause
he said, "That's my shoes." Goddamn.
I had somebody like steal my Game Boy and my games. Like when I was in middle school, I had a locker mate. And my locker mate let somebody steal my Game Boy and my games out of my bag. And I learned anything over $100 is a jailable offense, and that's pure theft. So that means like you steal from me, I have the right to defend my property. That means I could slap you across the back of your head as much as I want to, just as long as it's equal force and I'm not overly
in your life.
yeah
You know what I'm saying? It's what's the phrase that they use? Incremental, perpendicular, necessary force is basically what we say.
Right. So I'm not gonna kill her over no shoes, but I'm damn sure gonna knock her silly. And I'm gonna get my
that would have
shoes.
pissed me off too. I'm like, man, you just choked my threes out, man. Laces all gangly now, man.
And he did mention that. He did mention that she had him choked up. The next thing I wanted to mention, speaking of choked up, and I don't know how choked up people will be, but it feels almost like, and we've been talking about it all live long, but it feels like this is the sign of an end of an era. And if you all don't know what I'm talking about, Tony D dropped a video earlier today because he yesterday dropped a post signaling he separated from Sample IND. Now, if you all aren't familiar with Sample IND, I believe it dropped during COVID 2020, 2021.
I remember it being a little before because I went to a sneaker con.
Maybe.
Pre-COVID. And I met Tony
like
and Bull there.
2018, 2019?
Yeah, it was around that era.
So Sample IND is a brand that two of the most iconic sneaker content creators collaborated on. Tony D. Too Wild and Bullet RC, Mr. Basura, and Back at It Like a Crack Addict himself came up with, and they had like some pretty dope pieces. I've purchased at least 2 or 3 pieces myself.
I had some.
Yeah, like, and they at the crib. I wish I had them with me today to talk the show, but they had some pretty dope pieces, and you could tell which one made which, and you know, but the thing is, and in my opinion, I liked Tony's stuff more than I liked Bull's, but because Tony had a bit of that like West Coast and Southeast flair to it, because of course Tony is from California, but he lives in Atlanta, and Bull had like that Virginia vibe, like that country backwoods NASCAR kind of feel to it.
The stuff and big T's that you see in the thrift that went crazy in the pandemic era.
Yeah. So it was they had a fairly decent run when they were doing things, and then all of a sudden they just kind of disappeared. And me personally, I was like, oh, so they're not doing sample anymore, or when are they going to do something? And sporadically they would drop pieces, and a lot of times I was like, okay, they dropping pieces, but there's no evolution in the pieces. It's kind of the same, you know. It's not typical of a clothing brand, and it just kind of, you know, sample IND just kind of fell wayside. And then we got the statement less than 12 hours ago where Tony D said he, and I did this picture, by the way, you know, y'all like it, y'all know, man, kudos to me, man. It's just so, yeah. But Tony D dropped this statement about 12 hours ago. He said, "Dear family, earlier this year, after a great deal of thought, I made the decision to step away from Sample Industries and officially end my involvement with the company. Over time, differences developed regarding certain business decisions and the direction I believe the company should take. I felt the best decision was to step back and move forward." Oh, wow. That says a lot without saying a lot. Damn. I stepped back and moved forward.
It's like,
and that kind of
like I was getting held back creatively or monetarily. So in order for me to do better for myself, I can't. Now, I'm not trying to talk bad about Bullet. And he says in his video, like, it's not a Christian thing. Christian being Bullet's, you know, real name, not trying to dox.
Right.
But he was like, look, y'all playing in the mud, and I don't want to do this no more. It's not going the way I wanted it to go. Now, whether that's creatively or financially, he ain't elaborate, but
right. And that's kind of indicative of what I was saying. It kind of became stagnant. So this kind of alludes to it. And he said, "I voluntarily transferred my interest in rights in Sample Industries to Christian without requesting or receiving any money. There's no bad blood between us. He remains like a brother to me, and I wish him and Sample Industries nothing but success. The brand remains active, but I'm no longer connected to its ownership, designs, operations, customer service, or future decisions. Thank you for your continued love and support. Much love, Tony D. Too Wild." And to be honest, I haven't looked at anything on the Sample website since like 2023. I'm not even gonna lie to you, 2023, because I was still holding out hope that they were gonna drop some dope shit. But like, and then the crazy thing is they even have Sample in stores like Soul Play ATL and like I think maybe another boutique and probably some boutiques out in VA. But like, for me, it always felt like the stuff that Tony created was really pushing the brand forward, like really getting the sales.
The way this read, when you have a successful business, especially one that's going to continue, because I noticed Sample's not ending. It'd be different if they was like, "Hey man, times have changed, styles have changed, the profits aren't what they used to be, let's walk away." No, the brand is continuing, and you don't want any money from it. That either gives like, "I'm fed up with this shit, I don't care what you do with it," or there's no money to get from it. Like maybe operating at a loss. you know, the fact that it's continuing for the supporters of Sample and stuff, that's good. But someone in the comments, because he did a video, and it was like
Yeah,
the top
absolutely.
comment that I saw, it said, "Yeah, Christian's lazy, bro. Just say that."
I
And
did see that.
yeah, I saw that, and it didn't hit me at first until I sat down and thought about it. I said, when is the last time outside of like a whatnot stream announcement that Bullet has not only made a video for the brand, but really just made a video?
Right. And so I'm going to show like a piece of the video. And if anybody wants to watch the entirety of the video, then you all can go to Tony's page and watch it. But to people saying that Kristen was lazy, I don't know if it's him lazy. I think it's something else going on,
I think it's
because
just a shift in life, man. Like we
a
talked about
couple of
sneaker media changing. He's got kids, man. Like we don't know what he's got going on.
But you know, I believe it was before that though, because a couple of years ago, because Bull hasn't done, I mean, now he's done videos, but he hadn't done videos like he was normally doing in over 5 years. And he took an extended period of time off from making content. And when he came back, the video that he came back with, he was saying that he was struggling with depression
And his weight and stuff. Yeah, I do remember
yeah,
that
his
video. Yeah.
his biggest issue was his weight and how he looked when he saw himself on camera and things like that. And when I say this is not to devalue or take anything away from his feelings of depression and things like that, because that's a serious thing.
Very.
But from outside looking in, and from how I treat myself on a day-to-day basis, because we're all going through things, I feel like, you know, well, I don't feel, but I view the things that I'm going through as something serious, but we cannot let that hinder us from doing the things that we know we need to be doing. Now, making videos about sneakers is not something that we need to be doing. So I'm more so speaking towards, you know, the disdain for the weight that he has put on and things like that.
But to your point and to his lifestyle, bro, I'm not saying you gotta do this, but that, like, we do this for fun, to link up, to entertain the people that support us.
Right.
Man, he was paying his mortgage with that. Like, you might can
Right.
argue, yeah, bro, you need to do this. Like, you and I
Right.
just can't have a day where we look in the mirror and go, man, I ain't looking the best. I ain't going to work today. We can't.
Right.
Not unless we want to be homeless.
And that's where that's what I'm gonna push to. So like the thing is, and let me do it like this. So the thing is I get that you know, he's depressed and things like that. But YouTube made him a self-sustained business. He was his own boss, and you've got a lot of time on your hands. So you had a lot of opportunity to get yourself a trainer, learn better ways to diet, you know, meal prep, things like that. I understand you had a kid, and then you had another kid, but in between that time, you were still gaining weight, and you were still unhappy with yourself. As a man, you are a leader. You are expected to be a leader as a man, and you have to step up and do the right things in order to lead. You have to make better choices. And like I said, that is not downplaying any feelings of depression that he has, because being where I am, I can understand. But every day when I get up and I feel like, hey, a lot of stuff is weighing on my shoulders and I just want to just lay down all day, I tell myself, you know what? You're leading your household. there are people that depend on you. You depend on yourself. There are certain things that you have to do in order to get things done. Get your ass up. Because I could easily be depressed and lay down all day and just, fuck life away or whatever you want to say, but I get my ass up. And at some point, I hope Bull just gets to a point where he feels that type of energy, where he just says, you got 2 boys. You want to be a better example. You can't sit and be depressed for the rest of your fucking life. Get your ass up and, work. And I can't say this enough. This is not me putting him down or anything like that. But like, I can see that depression affecting his content, affecting, the things that he does, affecting Sample, and it gradually pushing to this point of Tony just being like, okay, you know what? I got to wipe my hands of this. I can't keep doing this.
Yeah, to that point, Tony being a human on his own right, he had a child, he has a wife, he built and renovated his crib. He put
on weight. He lost weight.
Yep, he saw the same titanic shift in a platform that he thought was not going to pop the way it did. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know in 2020, 2021, if somebody told him grills worth thousands of dollars could be had on the aftermarket at retail or under, and Sample parachute pants wouldn't be the hottest thing in the streets because the Y2K baggy aesthetic is back.
Right.
Don't forget their sneaker cleaning business they had with Kais, their sneaker cleaning product.
That was right there on the forefront of my mind. I think it's called Pure. I went to Kais's Instagram and I clicked on the link and it said, do you have the passcode for this store? This store is
wrapped.
Yeah, like, so that business venture between Kais, Tony, and Bull, that's gone.
Yeah.
So,
and I'm with you, bro. Everyone has experienced some form of mental health struggle, whether they know it or not.
Right.
Trauma is natural. You're born into trauma. That's literally how you're born. As King Vita in the chat say, it's funny because I was just watching Batman Begins yesterday, 2 days ago, when Bruce Wayne falls in the pit and his dad's got to pick him up, and he's like, Bruce, why do we fall? So we can learn to pick ourselves back up. Like, not trying to say Tony is a better or stronger or more capable man, because everyone's struggle is different, but you do see a difference between, because Tony even admitted, hey, my content is going to shift. I'm selling a lot of my collection. But even if it's a shoe I don't care about, I see that update in my subscription of Tony talking about the Oreo 6s or white metallic 5s or gloves. Man, I'm watching it. Tony's still making his videos about sneakers. He realized the shift needed to happen, so he started talking about things he cared about, like firearm content, and he relaunched his live streams to shoot the shit and talk about popular events and current trending events. So, like, that's what I hope to see from Bull, long story short. Whether it's in front of the camera, behind the camera, I would like to end the day knowing that even if he gracefully goes, hey, man, it's been a wild ride with Sample, I'd rather hear him formally go, one last hurrah, one last, warehouse sale, and, I'm going to be all right. The kids are all right. And if he's still with Anna, is all right. And if he makes videos still, like, because he was big in the gaming content, he also was hanging out with Tony when it came to, the firearm content. And Bullet has a clean production, good visuals, solid audio, smooth voice. Like, bro, you could be whatever you want to be in this space. You've got the allocades of years of content creation behind you. You know what I'm saying? So
but you know what? I think at a certain point, Tony was dragging Bull along. When it came to seeing Bull in those firearm videos, I think at that point, Bull had completely shut down and Tony was just being a friend, trying to get him back on his feet, trying to get him back out there, trying to get him to rehash that excited feeling he had. And I think at that time, Bull was and is just in a space where things for him were mentally just unraveling at an exponential pace that he just couldn't and can't keep up with. Because like I would honestly like to see, and you could like it's funny that you hear the analogy all the time where people say just because I looked a certain way on camera that like it
Behind the
wasn't
scenes.
yeah. And if you don't know what you're looking at, you don't see it. But given that I do content and things like that, even when Bull would come back and drop some of those videos, heat or hype and stuff like that, even though the videos were great, like it just did not feel like he was there. It just felt like he was somewhere else. And for Bull, I just want Bull to get to a place where he can be honest, he can get healthy mentally as well as physically, and then whatever he decides to do from there, it just be the best thing for him, whether it's shoes and YouTube or something completely different. Because I don't know what his money looks like now at this point, and I mean, I'm not a pocket watcher or anything, but not producing any content in the manner in which he hasn't, like, unless he's got other ventures outside of YouTube and sample things like that that we can see of, there is no way he can be footing his lifestyle, because he had just bought a home, he had just had his second son, he had just bought the BMW SUV. I think it was like an X3 or something like that. Like he had just bought a lot of things at the point when he just kind of stepped aside from social media.
Yeah, it was yeah, like to your point, and I'm not saying it's easy because like we said, Bull's creative vision is not something anybody could pick up a camera and a computer and do.
Right.
But yeah, the biggest indicator for me, because at that point I was accustomed to not seeing a review of every major sneaker release. I didn't even want that from Bull, because or any content creator who doesn't have a brand deal or something, because it's unrealistic. One, I don't care about every release like I did when I was a kid. And two, they got to get the shoe. Then you got to be relevant. So you got to get it relatively early so the video could be out around the release slightly before. Then you have to, do your talking points, give your opinion. If it's a branded video, you got to watch what you say. Then Bull had the craziest on feats on the game. He's got 7, 8, 9, 10 pair of pants, both laces in. So like when he did that for a major shoe, I appreciated it. But even if it was just a chill vlog with him going around the 757 picking up releases, even if it wasn't for content, even if it was personal things like vintage clothing or the heat or hype. The heat or hype I thought was gonna be his and a lot of other people's big ticket, because Seth Fowler does a monthly recap, because it's you. And the limits to that content is how much you want to invest. You could look at anything from a Dorenbecker to an Off-White to a high fashion collab with Hellstar Balenciaga, because it's just talking. It's giving opinions. It's maybe, hey, I'll cop, maybe I won't. You don't got to go out and get it. But when I started noticing, the heater hypes dying down, and when his character of Basura Bull, which requires a lot of energy to put out, was like not showing up,
and he was drinking that alcohol,
yeah, I was just like, yo, man, it was like watching LeBron turn 40. He's still the man. You're gonna watch him when he take the court. But like early in LeBron career, people used to wonder, was he on roids, because he would never have injuries. And then last couple years he been having groin issues and been sitting out, and you're going, wow, like, okay, I'm watching this in real time. You know what I'm saying? I was never a big Kais fan.
Nah.
But Kais kind of was like, because he never started in sneakers. So he's went from one thing, he transitioned to sneakers, and respectfully, he realized it's time to go. I'll still do sneakers every once in a while, because he don't want to look like a complete grifter. He don't want to abandon his audience to help him get that nice house and put him where he is now. But I noticed he'll make a food vlog. Like he came to DC for a sneaker release, the GT Future debut colorway. And while that was his primary reason for being here, I saw his content on that. I dapped him. I didn't even know who he was because it was at my homie's boutique, and he came through the door and he was like, "Hey guys," and I'm just like, "Oh yeah, what up, fool?" I'm just thinking like it's some Middle Eastern dude that I've never seen before.
And the crazy thing is, Kais looks old, and he graduated in 2007.
Well, he's still older than me, so I can't say he look old because then I'm old. But yeah, but I noticed the rest of his content on that trip was sightseeing and food stuff, which, not gonna lie, for what it was, thought it was relatively entertaining. I'm like, oh man, I know where that at.
Yeah,
I know where that's at. Don't blow it up too bad because I ain't trying to have
right.
everyone. But no, it was that shift. You know what I'm saying? And I respect him stepping away from pure and private. They probably was like, look here, the big companies not pushing their stuff out anymore, like Crep and
Right.
Rejuvenator. So our little small scale thing could only go for so long. So let's just pack this up and continue to be friends. Get while the getting's good. When it's public like this, the sample announcement, the speculation comes and the what ifs and all that. But like
we'll
you said,
talk about Rejuvenator because I don't fuck with Rejuvenator anymore. But
bro, I don't. To be honest, man, with the amount of sneakers I have and the fact that I got a bristle brush, soap and water, and I'm not rough on my shoes, I don't know the last time I purchased like an actual this is for sneaker cleaner, bro. Like a lot of times I use car maintenance stuff, Armor All stuff.
I found some shit that I'm gonna tell you about. I'm gonna send it to you in the DMs. I found some shit. I'm gonna test it out, and yo, if it do what I think it's gonna do, man, I'm gonna have to drop a video for it. But
bad coming.
Yeah. But I'm gonna play some of Tony D's video about the departure from sample, and we'll try to dissect it a little bit.
Industries. Yeah, I know. I was never expecting to
Let me see if I go
say those words or even be dropping a video like this, right? But this is something that cannot be private because the company itself is not a private company. The details and deep and all that can be private, but it is worth me making a video about it to my audience, to Sample's audience, and to people that watch me and Bull. Like, you deserve to at least know this so that you can just know that, right? I'm trying to think of the word. And on like business decisions that were going on, that there were some disagreements on over time, and it got to a point where I just felt like it was best for me then to step down. Yeah, I mean, I just wanted to be very transparent with you guys because I think you guys deserve it. I think a lot more content moving forward is going to be transparent and be me being me getting back to my roots of who I am no longer with Sample Industries. Yeah, I know. I was never expecting to say those words.
And so I took a 60-second snippet, and it's an 8-minute long video. But out of that 8 minutes, those were the most impactful things that I pulled from that video. Where he says there were some disagreements about the direction. I'm gonna get back to being myself, as if he was held back in some kind of way. And I'm gonna be more open, as if he had to lie about things that were going on with certain things. So this feels like, although it is mainly about Sample, this feels like it stretches into like his own personal content. And I don't know if it's his partnerships that he has going on that he's also kind of feeling things about, and Sample was a part of some of those problems, and Sample was just the easiest one for the time being that he could what's the word, throw off or shed. That's the word. Sample was one of those things that he could quickly shed, but like anybody who wants to see that video, that video tells a lot in such a short period of time. And you can look at him that it bothers him, and there's a lot of hurt with Tony going on in this video, and like he just wants to say more, to be honest with the viewership, but that he doesn't want to say too much to still be a good friend to Bull. And it's a tough position to be in. I can absolutely imagine it's a tough position for Tony to be in, which is why he just said, you can take the company. You don't have to buy me out. None of that. You can just take it. And for a lot of people to just say, take the company, don't buy me out,
that's powerful.
You don't understand. Yeah, you don't understand how unorthodox that is. Because most people are asking or telling people they have to buy them out.
Especially with the company not being dissolved. Like, it's still got plans for the future. We don't know how Christian and future associates will run it, but let's say things go as well as Tony is hoping that they go for them in the future. That means more sales, more profit, and you were a creative vision and establisher of that, to the point where you had to make a video formally announcing you're not a part of it because people were still hitting them up about orders and the next drop. So can you imagine something that you created, for whatever reason you had to step away from it, and it's still making money, and for you to be like, I don't want any of it? That shows like maybe it's a healthy way, but it's like, I'm done. I'm just done. Like, I know I'm not the richest man on earth, and I value the effort and time I put into stuff. If I left 12 Hub and 12 Hub got picked up by Spotify, and retroactively they picked up all our old content, which I am in, bro, I'm knocking on the door for a piece of the pie. I want my bag. Like, now if they call themselves the Hub of 12 Network and none of the old episodes are listed, and they reference me as our former colleague, they never say Kari, hey, I stepped away, I left the table while it was hot, that's on me. But it's not being like, he's on the website. It's like, that's him right there.
So he's still on the website.
So for him to leave, and somebody might mistakenly, like he said in his video, spoiler alert for those who haven't seen it, he made this announcement so people won't want to support Tony and go, man, I want to support Tony, let me go buy Sample. He's like, no, still buy Sample if you like it, but I don't want you buying it thinking it's supporting me, because I am no longer with the company.
And all this oversized stuff, lame shit, vintage shit, that's bull. That's 100% bull. How they got away with these Air Force Ones is...
Were you there when they dropped those? I remember the controversy. I was in their live stream when they were arguing with DJ Dales about their shit. I think that's who they were talking to. It was going crazy, bro. That was like, in that Warren Lotus, Cool Kai, support a black man era, man. And I'm just like, look, I will support a black man until the sun extinguishes. But
and how they able to do these Grateful Dead socks, beyond me.
It's a lot of stipulations when they do logo rips, because sometimes I look at some of Supreme stuff, and I think the only reason brands like Supreme get away with it, one, their legal team is crazy, and two, if you're a brand that's getting your logo ripped by Supreme, you low-key kind of feel a certain way, because you're like, yo, Supreme is noticing us. That's gonna, when Supreme's initial run on Thursday sells out and people want either the real deal inspiration or something that looks like the Supreme one, they're gonna come to us. I would love for Supreme to rip our logo. Shit, yeah. So people can do the knowledge, find out where we are. Yeah, Supreme, go ahead, rip that fool. Put a box logo over it. Collab with us. Talk to us. We here.
So yeah, this is like the extent of the current website now.
Based off
Like,
Tony's style, I think the only thing on here that I see that was him was those slouch socks.
yeah.
That's a slouch sock wearing MF.
Now this right here, this Sherpa pullover, that was Tony.
That's kind of cool. I like that.
I got that shit. That shit is crazy. I bought it when it dropped. That shit is crazy. And then Tony did a koi fish bomber jacket. Insane. And then I think Tony did these shorts right here. But the other two joints, that's bullshit. I think Tony might have did these right here though too, but that's bullshit right there.
No pun intended. That is bullshit. Yuck.
And then all the rest of this is shit that Bull did.
Yeah, it's given 2020, 2021 rude aesthetic.
Yeah.
Reading type shit. Nothing wrong with it if you're into that bag, especially if you like boxy, oversized. And you know what's kind of weird? Not to keep honing in on Bull's, personal reflection of himself, but like that bigger cut tee aesthetic might been an indicator of like I want bigger fitting clothes.
Yeah.
Because of my size.
Yeah. Yeah. I was thinking that. I absolutely was thinking that.
I'm praying for bro, man. I really hope, because I've met Bull several times being from the DMV. I made my way to round 2 when it was still open in Virginia. I want to say I saw Bull. Yeah, I saw Bull at a couple of sneaker cons. I met his I don't know if that's his partner. Never met the kids, but like every interaction we stopped, we talked, took a pic. I was in a couple of his vlogs. He's good folks, man. Like he's not one of them online one way, in person another.
Right. He seems like a good person.
Yeah, seems like a good person. Like I said, he was a big inspiration as far as when I started making content or being interested in making content. His was the standard. I said, I want my shit to look like that.
Oh,
like, I want to look at
absolutely.
my videos and be proud of him and Tony's on feats. I used to be like, where do I go to get even like their live stream content? Like I watched a lot of sneaker live streamers. You could tell they're on their phone.
Yeah.
Then 720p quality, no mic. And when Tony and Bull were going live and when they were doing the Gloves Off pod together, it was like crystal clear quality, great visuals, solid editing.
I think Bull was the deterioration of the Gloves Off podcast as well, unfortunately, because
they had a little kickback this year, right? They was trying to bring that back earlier this year.
That was last year.
Late last year, okay.
Yeah, that was last year. So it's a sad thing to see, and it kind of feels indicative of what's going on with the sneaker culture as a whole. Because if you would have said if you would have told me 3 years ago, maybe even two and a half years ago, 3 years ago, we'll say that the Bull and Tony would have a falling out like this. Now, of course, he says they're still cool. And that's just one perspective. Like you still have to hear from Bull's perspective. And then I'm pretty sure because Tony led the way he did, that you're not going to get like a honest answer from Bull, if you even get an answer from Bull at all. But to see a fallout like that is crazy, because in the post I called them the dynamic duo, because they were literally the dynamic duo of early sneaker influencers. They led the way. They built they built the lane for Kais Omar, for Harrison Neville. Tony definitely built Harrison Neville.
Definitely. That influence of them being in the same city is definitely felt.
Yeah, Mr. Skinny. Like Tony helped Mr. Skinny was employed by Tony at one point in time. Mike Rich. Tony helped Mike Rich a lot. So to just kind of see it go in that direction. I mean, the sneaker community needed a refresh, but I just didn't expect it to happen in like a grandiose collapse, like the city of Atlantis, because that's what it feels like. Mount St. Helen erupted and everything is just being lost.
This is a bigger shakeup than, and a lot of people talked about this. They've talked about it ad nauseum to the point where it's not even a discussion point anymore. When the Complex Sneaker Podcast ended, like whatever you feel about Complex Media as an entity, it's the largest in the space. And whether you watch it for their legit takes to clown on them, you watched it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And they're still doing sneaker shopping. We just saw Tyler. Their editor Arya Hughes does a podcast now. Joe LaPuma actually has a podcast with JD Sports. But for them to like unceremoniously just end one of the largest sneaker podcasts in the media space was like
Full Size Run.
Bro, when Full Size Run ended, I got a relationship personally with Brendan Dunn. Love the dude. Personally, whether you think he corny or not. Like when I was like, bro, is the
I love
show
all
really
of
over?
them.
Yeah, like
I
is the
love
show
all
really over? And he was like, yeah, bro. And then they transitioned to the Complex Sneaker Podcast. And I'm like, it makes sense because it was essentially the same show. So it's like, all right. And Trinidad James was always like, he was always like the Batman of the group. Like, I'm not a part of the Justice League, but if you need me, hit up Gotham City. Like, I'm too cool for this shit, and rightfully so, because Trinidad James is the man. So I was like, okay, now they got more of a consistent flow. It's Welty, it's Joe, it's Brendan, a guest here and there. Brendan transitioned to StockX. Congratulations. So we're like, we'll see where it goes. Then they bought Upscale Vandal. The verdict is out on Upscale. I respect his history in sneakers. I don't think he had enough time to gel with that program to get a fair shake. Because the minute he wasn't Brendan Dunn, people said the show was ass. I hate him. I hate it. I ain't gonna lie, the first couple episodes, because I had preconceived notion based off reviews I heard before I watched, I said, oh yeah, pack Cuz up. But like I came to respect him. But the comments were vicious. Sneaker media changed. Complex, I think they switched owners, and after that, boom. They didn't even do a farewell episode. They didn't have a hey, last episode was our last episode. Next week will be it was just like, yeah, whatever. And for Joe to start another sneaker podcast, I was like, bro, could you at least have started this one off with this is the new Complex Sneaker Podcast, or rest in peace to Complex Sneakers Podcast? Wow, man. And because of political bullshit and corporate bureaucracy, we'll probably never get a straight answer. But it's just a reflection of, I think people like myself, you, Front Page, Aaron, Matt Freights,
I
so
love
many
Matt,
people,
man.
so many people I'm failing to name right now. It's the changing of the guard, man. Like it's time for not necessarily Newtonian bulls, but different leaders and pioneers in the space. You know what I'm saying? We still gonna have our OGs, bro. It's kind of like the Spider-Verse movies. We still gonna have Cousteau as Peter Parker. You know what I'm saying? But it's time for some Miles Moraleses, some Spider-Gwens, some 2099s to come up in there and be like, this is what we doing now.
You're right. So this part is where I want to say, I want to try to see what have people been collecting. So this is a part where I want to call it, what did you cop? So whether it's been something that you picked up. Hey, there you go. There you go. What's going on, Average? Whether it was something that you picked up in the last month or the last week or the last 24 to 48 hours. What was the most recent pickup that you've purchased?
Okay. In the realm of like we talking about like experimenting and stuff, is a little experimental, and one's just a classic. So shout out to the way the sneaker market's going. The CB94s, the Black Sport Royal, the retro from 2004. I got that from drawing a blank, but it was under retail, so it was a no-brainer. Then I won a pair of the Action Bronson 2811. I just wanted to see what it was all about. Verdict's still out on it, but it's different. It's new. They gave Baklava silhouette. That's cool. I'm an Action Bronson fan of his music and of his design, so I like it. And last, on that experimental tip, the Nike First Sight Shadow SP, that weird
Okay.
slip-on foam posit. Once again, I saw it on the site in my size, which is a rare women's 13.5. It was on sale. I saw a couple people have it on feet, and I was like, you know what? Fuck it. Those haven't came, but the other two have come. So yeah, that's been it. I'm still buying shoes, bro. Like, but the shoe has to either be under retail where it's undeniable, or it's got to be something I've been wanting. Like, I want to get the Super Hirachi 2K4s, but for $200.
Now, 5 or 6 years ago, when I did stuff like that, people called me crazy
I'm pretty
because
sure somebody calling me crazy right now.
I went and purchased the Balvin Jordan 2s off of that same sentiment. Like, let me just experience it. You know, fuck it, it is what it is. I got money to, burn right now. I just want to be different. I don't want to be like everybody else. Let me go ahead and try that. And man, people was on my head for that shit. Like, I would never forget how many lives I got my ass handed to me for actually buying that shoe, and not only just buying it, but buying it at
Don't say
retail price.
See, that's the
Yeah.
Look, I don't hate that shoe, but it was the egregious retail that prevented me from. Now, the way it's trending now on the market, if you bought a pair now, wouldn't judge you.
Ooh, I like those. The last pair I bought was the Air Jordan Skyline Low. That shoe is dope to me, and don't care what nobody says. That's a good shoe.
I'm not sure what that one is, but I know for a fact when it comes to Jordan stuff that's not a retro, I low-key been looking at them triangles. I like that. The takedown of the Jordan 40, the team shoe. It just came out.
I don't think I've seen that.
It's kind of sick. I like it. King Vita, bro, I feel you. He says, I haven't bought a new sneaker in ages, but I'm buying action figures. Yeah, that's my other weakness, bro. Collectibles.
Boy, I have given up. Well, I haven't given up shoes, but I have turned the tap on shoes down to a slow trickle, and I've just been buying model kits, SH Figure Arts. My next biggest purchase is a air compressor to go along with my waterfall spray booth, and so I've got to buy a airbrush gun too. So I'm not pigeonholing myself anymore because of outside influences or what the outside world thinks. My world is contained within me, and that's what really matters. If people is on my team or whatever, I fucks with them. If they aren't on my team, I still fuck with them. And if they hate me, I fuck with them, but on a different level. But I'm gonna do what makes me happy. I've had a lot of time. Like, I've always done what makes me happy, but I didn't really understand what that fully meant to do what makes you happy, because even though we think we're doing things that make us happy, in the back of our minds, we always have that little voice in the back of our minds that rings and says, well, what will somebody think about what I'm doing? What will somebody think about what it is that I have going on? If it ain't hurting nobody or, bringing down your house for the worst, who gives a fuck what they think about?
Do you know
do what makes you happy?
Do you know the brand InArt? It's an overseas brand. They blowing up right now because of the quality of their figures.
You have to show me that.
I gotta send you the link. They so the newest iteration of Batman, DC has a line called Absolute. And the new
Okay.
Batman, Absolute Batman, they did a figure of him. It's a
Yeah.
fucking unit, bro. I I didn't pre-order it. I paid the pre-order price in full. Because I'm like, like when I tell you I stopped looking at Mafex and Figure Arts versions of characters if InArt does it. If InArt's doing one, I
Yeah.
don't care about the other two guys. And I used to be I still buy Figure Arts. I still fuck with Mafex. But like if Mafex Figure Arts and InArt say, hey, we doing figures for insert new comic book property here. Like, oh, are we doing Doomsday figures? You don't
Right.
gotta show me the other two dudes. It's cool. I
Yeah.
don't want to see
Now
it.
I agree with that. Like always look at different companies for different things because one company may do figure, for example, within a certain line better than the other company, but what's tied into all of that, the other company may do one figure better than the other. So it's better to mix and mingle than to just stick with one.
Major company.
So
My thing is scale. Like if the scales flow, I'll have a Figure Arts next to a
only figures
Hasbro.
I collect is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Well, I'm gonna tell you, NECA. NECA did a Fortnite Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle figures.
Yeah, them
Fucking
joints crazy.
incredible. Incredible. So if you
I
don't
think
know
that's
about
gonna be
that might be one you want to
I think
look
that's
at.
gonna be their last run of turtle figures. I think they're taking the master license and because they stopped like Playmates switched to Power Rangers, they're not doing turtles no more. NECA was
Yeah.
like, we're done. I think Super 7 might be packing it up too.
Yeah, because I think Super 7 is doing He-Man right now.
Yeah, so I think they're snatching up all the individual. I think the only company that's still producing turtle figures outside of the ones that Nickelodeon is approving is like third party people, which third party the way to go sometimes, bro.
Yeah, yeah. But when it comes to sneakers, the last sneaker I picked up and the most recent sneaker I picked up and the most proud pickup I've had in a long time would be these right here.
My homie
The
just hit my
Gary Payton
phone and told me they restocked and I
gloves.
was asleep. Is this your first pair? Have you had a previous pair?
Fudge. And that's what I meant to do. I got a picture upstairs and I meant to bring the picture when I was maybe, I don't know. Hold on, give me, I gotta get it because I don't even know how old I was.
Well, I'm my bad. I'm responding to King Vito. Playmates Power Rangers is jank, but I give them the pass because one, they coming out with a collector's line soon, and Hasbro not doing nothing with the license, and two, it is meant for kids. It's a kids line. You know what I'm saying? I don't collect it because I know it's for kids and I know it's not the quality that I would want. But I have heard of D Arts. I had a D Arts War Greymon, Metal Garurumon, and Omegamon from Digimon or War Games. It's sad they don't do that line anymore, but man, those are some good figures. DRs also did like the big three: Pokemon, Venusaur, Charizard, Blastoise. I don't know how much they're going on the market now because that was like years ago, but nah, D Arts was solid. Like D Arts, Monster Arts, Figure Arts, Bandai, man, they knock it out the park. Sometimes they pricey. Don't get me wrong, but if you can get them at retail or under, and got a good proxy service to ship them, I fuck with it. Yeah, you know Laura said King Vita knows ball. I fuck with him.
So I don't know what I did with it, but I had there it goes. Dang. I went all the way upstairs for nothing.
Rich people problems.
So I had, and I didn't know until I watched Sneaker Guy Dre's video, but I had the discounted version as a kid. Let me see if I can, or the cheaper version when I was a kid.
Gloves.
Yes. Yeah.
Those need to come back too.
I gotta cover my son's face, but I had the Son of Gloves.
Dang.
And
Taking it back on him.
yeah. So that was like my introduction to them. Absolutely loved them to the point where I only wore them. I think I only got maybe like 5 wears out of that shoe because at that time I was also those were a size 8. I think an 8 or an 8.5. And I was in the middle of a growth spurt at that time too. And the next time I wanted to put them on, they were too small. It wasn't happening. So when these dropped, I was like, when these first came out, these were not my favorite because I didn't like all of that in there.
Monkey paw.
But like I said on my TikTok video, the older you get, the more you know. The more you know, the better you do. And I said to myself, they're not bad. They're not as bad as I thought when I was a kid. Now the other colorways, like the supersonic colorway, that kind of remind me like of a pack of Newports. I still not.
The soul collector ones.
Yeah, I'm still not for those, but like some other colorways, they're nice. And I was like, hey, if I ever want to get back to the Son of Gloves, man, we got to support one. We got to support certain ones so that Nike knows that, hey, you know, we really looking for them because they have never retroed the Son of Gloves, but they've retroed the gloves back in like 2013, I believe.
Yeah, I had that, bro.
But these are so fucking nice. Like they're simple, but they're extremely detailed. They've got a lot going on, and it's just like it's just a shoe to have, man. Like it is, and they're comfortable too. Like they're surprisingly more comfortable than I thought they would be. Or because of course when I had them, I was probably like, I don't know, in that picture, I was probably maybe like 10 or something like that. 9 or 10. I don't know. But I will say they're not summertime shoes.
No, hell no.
They're definitely like court only fall time shoes. If you wearing them for casual use, if you're not wearing them in the fall or winter time, yeah. And that's how I used to wear them. I used to wear them unzipped. Now, when people be peeling them down like bananas so you can see it, nah, that's too much, man. Just let it naturally fall, man. Just let it naturally fall.
We used to make fun of kids. We used to look at kids crazy if their gloves were zipped up. We used to be like, man. It's like when someone who's not used to certain things, like let's say their dad just got a new job, but they did real well on their report card, so they go, son. And then it don't even have to necessarily be a money thing, you know, because certain people I knew had money, but their parents was not investing in Nike shoes because they was like, you just need shoes. Sometimes they had such good quality shoes, they would dwarf the price of our Nikes. But they were like Buster Brown, Doc Martin, Cole Haan, like, bro, you're a nerd.
Right.
But like, that's the type of shoe that kid gets. And he's like, am I supposed to wear them like this? And before the bus come, you'd be like, hey, bro, go ahead and unzip them joints, bro. But they come zipped. Yeah, but go ahead. Let me see them laces, fam. They're going to kill you on the bus. They're going to kill you on the bus, dog.
Yep. And I was definitely one of those kids. And as you can see in that photo, I had them zipped up. And that was because my mom made me do them. But when mom wasn't around,
I almost was going to bet you, bro, I can't blame you because your mama probably made you.
Yeah. But when mom wasn't around, because those shoes were so hot, because the Son of Gloves, both pair were all leather uppers, where this is like a neoprene material.
Nylon.
Yeah, the Son of Gloves were all leather uppers, and you talking about hot. Unbearably hot.
It's kind of like modern day. Like if I see somebody wearing Shea 001 zipped up, I'm like, must be a hooper. Like I ain't gonna judge you, but I'm just like, okay.
Now touching on, when you said, you know, when I spoke about my mom making me do things and all of that, it made me think about like keeping shoes clean and stuff like that. And I alluded to Reshoevn8r earlier. Did you hear about what happened with Reshoevn8r?
I haven't heard nothing about them in a minute.
So first and foremost, I want to make it clear that this is not a thing of hatred. Because I was a Reshoevn8r ambassador, and because and what I believe, I could be wrong, but what I believe, because I did a Instagram video where I said Reshoevn8r needed to improve their brushes because their bamboo brushes do crack and split and are prone to premature damage and wear. After I made that video, coincidentally, there's not very many coincidences, but coincidentally, less than 12 hours after I made that video, thinking that I was being more helpful, giving ideas to Reshoevn8r to improve their already luxury brands, especially given the fact that you can't get a brush without paying $30 for it. I was thinking that I was helping them being an ambassador, and they canceled my ambassadorship. They were like, yeah, we're gonna not do this, but that doesn't mean you can't be an ambassador later on down the line, yada yada yada, whatever. So I'm not mad at them.
From a company, they're like, we're not firing you. If there's more opportunities in the future, we'd love to have you back. But
right. So I'm not mad at them for that.
I'm stepping off for 1 second, but I can still hear you.
Okay. Because even after that, I was still continuing to support and push Reshoevn8r products. I don't know how many people are familiar with the Shoe Dog podcast and 808 Kicks. They did a live podcast, and in that live podcast, they discussed Reshoevn8r. And I don't know what made it grab my attention or why it was such a surprise to me, but in that podcast, they talked about how Reshoevn8r dropped a video, and it was an AI video. And 808 described it as a distasteful, tone deaf, dare I say, borderline racist type of commercial. And in this commercial for Reshoevn8r, there is an individual. He is an individual of color, and he's wearing a pair of Jordans. Somebody runs up on him with a gun, telling him they want his shoes and to take your shoes off. The guy refuses, of course, to give him his shoes, and the thief ends up shooting the victim for his shoes. Now, the criminal that shoots the victim either runs off or he ends up taking the shoes off of the feet of the victim and runs off. And of course, in this video, the shooter is a person of color. So basically, in a Reshoevn8r ad about sneaker care, has a person of color shooting another person of color for a pair of Jordans, stealing them off of their feet and running off with them. And 808 said that as soon as he saw the video, and of course, Love Kicks Customs, who is his podcast mate, saw the video as well, and they chose not to show the video on their live for their own personal reasons. But as soon as 808 messaged, and 808 is not one to mince words or bullshit or just do just because, but 808 said as soon as he messaged Reshoevn8r about how distasteful and tone deaf that video was, they immediately took that video down. And I had a conversation with 808, and I said, are you telling me that the video was a racist video from Reshoevn8r? And he said, and he very sternly told me, I said what I said and I didn't stutter. Now, for most people, they're going to take that as disrespect or somebody just trying to be rude or ugly. I just take that as somebody that has seen something that shouldn't have been done, and they are pissed off about it, and they're so serious and convicted in what they're saying that it's like, don't ask me about it because I told you what it is. So once I heard that, and you know, once I fully thought about it, it took me like a couple of days, but once I fully thought about it, I said to myself, I could no longer support Resjuvenator. I don't care if there is no other sneaker care brand on the market, and I got to go back to using dishwashing soap and a toothbrush. You will never, other than this and to talk about what they did and advocate against it, you will never hear me speak about Resjuvenator in a positive light. You will never hear me push their products. That's why currently, right now, I am working on and looking at another brand that offers just as much as they do, but better, in order to promote them. And even if it means having to deal with like tariffs and shit like that, because I don't know how that's going to go for the foreseeable future. But even if it means doing that, I'm going to do that, and I'm going to push their stuff depending on how it goes. Hey man, truth hurts, but it doesn't kill. Talk your shit. Wow, what the hell? So you trying to help them improve their products and they dropped you? That's crazy. Hey, I mean, it's their company. Them dropping me doesn't bother me. You know, it's all love at the end of the day. When it came to that, no love lost. I understand the metrics of the business and stuff like that, and I understand if somebody puts out a video and they're supposed to be part of your team, and the video does not convey your products the way you wanted your products conveyed, you have to do what you feel is the best for your brand. But I mean, and the reel is still up on my Instagram. Anybody can look at the reel or whatever. I didn't say anything bad. The only thing I said was, for the price that the brushes are, I feel like there can, well, I didn't say I feel, I said, but for the prices that the brushes are, there are just minor tweaks and adjustments that can be made to improve your product. I suggested that they coat their brushes in polyurethane like Jason Mark's brushes are, and that was it. I said, because for $30, it does not make sense for your brushes to split and crack and spread and get stuck in the lid of your drying bowl, because that's what happened to me. I was like, it doesn't make any sense. Yeah, for a set of $30. So they were basically charging you $10 a piece, and you don't get the drying bowl.
Yeah, certain brands starter kits are $30, which include a brush, microfiber towel, and the solution. I can get my own damn bowl. I don't need no little plastic collapsible. I can go get that my damn self. That's crazy.
Because I think, okay, so yeah, this is what the bowl looks like. And the brushes were literally, because they had gotten wet from just washing a pair of shoes, this container fell off of, I had my box for my 65-inch TV. So that's a pretty big box. That box sits about 4.5, 5 feet up off of the ground. This container fell off of the box and opened up. But instead of everything falling out, the brushes were stuck in the lid because and they were supposed to be, the bristles were dry, but I guess the brush heads had absorbed the water and was still holding some liquid, because they had expanded and cracked to the point where they were pushing up against the lid, and even a fall of that height didn't dislodge them. So like, here, I'll show you. I'll show you the brushes, because if you look at this brush, let me see, you can see the cracks in them.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And when they're wet, the brushes do an accordion effect and they spread outward. It gets even worse. They spread outward. This one right here, you can see it almost looks like it wants to mildew.
Yeah, seeing some results of that discoloration.
And yeah, and it's cracked right down the middle. The crack is almost touching the head of the brush. Then this one right here, you can see the wood, you can see the micro splinters in the wood, and then you can see the 2 cracks. Now, when it's wet, the cracks are even worse. And my only suggestion was to coat the brush heads in a polyurethane to protect them from liquids so that you could still have the same luxury look of the brush, but not lose the structural integrity of the brush. And they told me, hey, you know, we're going to cancel your you can see the crack has, for that one, for the stiff one, has made it to the head of the brush. So that's basically going straight through the damn brush. So, but for my suggestion, they told me we're going to end the ambassador partnership and yada, yada, yada. But I didn't take that harshly. I laughed. I'm like, okay, well, that's fine. But yeah, after, you know, hearing about what they did, yeah, I can't support them. And I said, I'm gonna use all of the products that I have from them, and then once I use all of those products, that's it. I'm moving on. Yeah. Now I could technically just throw it away, but they were free products, and shit, I might as well use them. I might as well get my use out of them and be done with it. Holy, my pops uses those brushes, but he has those suit shoes, like the fancy shoes, square toes, that sort of thing. Yeah, and when you actually get, and the funny thing about it is when you actually get brushes like that, or what those brushes are supposed to mimic, they don't crack like that. They don't deteriorate like that. So my thing is for $30, you don't even get this case. You don't even get this drying rack. You just get the 3 brushes for $30, and that's $10 a brush, and they tear up like that. It just does not make sense to me. So yeah, that's that. When I get the other sneaker clean product in, I'll be sure to drop a video on all of that and all that good stuff. And before we head on out of here, because it is 11:30 and I know you got a lot of stuff to do.
You know, life be life.
Right. We spoke earlier about the Space Jam 11s. Well, Space Jam. We spoke earlier about Space Jams in general. Now, Space Jams are supposed to drop at the end of the month. The 9s. And you said earlier that you did not like the box, and let me see if I can get you did not approve of what was going on with these damn Space Jams. Let me see if I can.
I don't like the forced narrative that these are a Space Jam exclusive story. Like, I'm like, this shoe came out. Oh, excuse me. This shoe came out before the movie did. She came out in 94.
Yeah.
Number 1. Number 2, Space Jam. If you look at the story, because a lot of people forget the story of Space Jam. Michael Jordan had retired. He was post-retirement playing baseball, golfing, trying to figure his life out. And the Looney Tunes recruited him to help stop the Monstars from selling him into slavery. Like, I'm looking at this like narratively, but that's the plot of the movie. So at one point, to get his groove back and to get the Looney Tunes ready for the game, you know, you got to practice. He's in the Toon world, so he sends Daffy and Bugs to his crib to get a pair of shoes so he can start hooping and training. They grab the 9s. And later on in the movie for the big game, I guess Tinker Hatfield is a deleted scene that we don't get to see. He dons the 11s. Super awesome moment. Jaw dropped as a kid. Fantastic. But if we looking at Mike's career, and this is his return to basketball, where the fuck were the 10s? You're gonna promote the 11s because one, it's a better looking shoe. Two, the 11s was the shoe at the time in '96, and three, he lost in the 10s. They lost to Orlando in '95. Technically, no, he lost in the 11s because he switched to the 11s and then played the next concurrent season in them, if we're being technical. But like narratively, as a kid, I didn't pay attention. But I became a sneaker nerd, and I was all like, why didn't he practice in the 10s, but he practiced in the 9s? That's weird. But yeah, bro, I hate the fact that like they're trying to shoehorn this shoe as the Space Jam 9s because everyone in this chat, we got some age on this. You got some age on you. I ain't no spring chicken no more. Bro, these was never the Space Jam 9s. What the fuck are y'all doing, bro? Excuse me, why are y'all forcing this? These would sell well regardless. I mean, not well, because everything is sitting, but these would sell to me the same with an OG face box or whatever they're pushing now as they would with that box. Like anytime anyone bought these 9s, nobody was all like, oh yeah, the joint from Space Jam. Somebody might have made that correlation, but that's not what you lead with, dog.
Yeah, so like watching the movie Space Jam, I'm not gonna lie to you. As a kid, I didn't remember shit about the shoes he had on his feet. Because they made a quick cameo. And even when they dropped in 2016, I didn't really understand how they correlated the 9s with the Space Jams, even though I know, yes, they made an appearance in the movie, but I don't know how they sat and said, okay, these are the Space Jam 9s. Like and I said this earlier, and Aver said these might be the first retros I get this year. I said this earlier. If you have these already, I can't justifiably in good conscience tell you all to go for the 2026 pair at $215 unless they do a limited run of these. These are going to be available on sale. Let's be honest, these are going to be available on sale. And
agree
2026, 10 years later, and that's crazy to think. Like, these shoes have sat in a box for 10 years and I've never worn. That's crazy. That is crazy. But 10 years later, it's not the same as it was in 2016. Like the craze is not there. And then they're not going to do the same kind of rollout that they did in 2016. So you got these, which I think these dropped before the 11s. So you got these. And I mean, these are nice. These are nice, but I'm not a 9s fan, so I might be a little obtuse about these. But I still like them as a shoe in general. Otherwise, I wouldn't have bought them because the box is out there. I got to fix the box and repair the box a little bit. But I don't remember how much the price was for the 9s. But I know they weren't cheap. But they're not going to do stuff like this. And this box right here, and I'll show you all, they got the Toon Squad on the lid. They've got the Galaxy theme on the outside. And just to let you all know, apparently the Galaxy 11s have been canceled with the Galaxy print around the where the patent leather usually is. Apparently those have been canceled. So don't expect
cancel the green screens. Like what? I would see GS, PS doing well with the Galaxy one.
Right.
Like nobody wants that green screen 11, fam.
And then they got the gem on the inside of the box lid for the 30th anniversary and all that. That's cool. That's cool. I like that. Presentation is power for me. I said it from the beginning. I will always say it. But you won't get stuff like this. So during the release at Flight 23, which was like a side store to Foot Action, kind of like House of Hoops. They gave away these Space Jam pins. And at the time, you were only supposed to get one or the other. So I got this set of pins. Then I got the other Monster set of pins, which you weren't supposed to be able to get both. And then they gave away, where is it? They gave away this joint right here. We're back.
That's kind of cool.
The Daily Jordan. And it's like a serious article. Now, I don't know what the article says because I ain't never opened up the paper. I didn't ever want to unfold it or nothing like that. I just wanted to keep it like it is. So, like, you were only supposed to either get the article and that was it along with the shoes, or you were supposed to get one set of pins with the shoes and that was it. But somehow, I guess because at that time I had bought so many pairs of Jordans back to back to back to back and was there for just like every single release and talked to the people, that they was just like, hey man, you can take everything. Yeah. So this right here, and this was just the rollout just for the 11s. You got this box. Now, I don't know how many of you all are familiar, but the Jordan 11s in this box are not the Space Jams. These are the Black Concord PEs. A lot of people don't know that, but yeah, these aren't the Space Jams, but they are in a really insane Space Jam themed box. And these were at what was the retail price for that? $220. So $220. And they want to, I guarantee you, they're not going to give you a third of this. They had the sleeve, then they had the 45 in this like shiny material on the lid, all that kind of good stuff. Then you open up the box, they had the Galaxy in a metallic kind of material on the top. You had the Galaxy theme. Then you had like the 11 plastic shield. Like, they really, for $220, they really gave you every damn thing. And then you had the black paper on the inside, just in case you forgot, 45. And after you went through that layer of paper, you had like another damn layer of paper. And I got like little hand towels in there to keep moisture out and absorb moisture. That's a little trick that a lot of people don't know about. But even the inside of the damn box was Galaxy themed. I don't know if you can see that, but it's got a Galaxy theme on the inside of the box. And that's just a whole lot of shit I got thrown on the floor before you even got to the shoe. And of course, these are DS2. But 45 on the back, Space Jams, and all of that for $220. And you won't get a third of that now. And they wanted to charge you $250, $255 for that. And then they dropped it down to $230. To be honest, nah, fam. Like, if you gonna give me a third of what you gave me 10 years ago for $220, you need to knock that price down a whole lot. Like, at this point, those 11s should be like 180, 190 if I'm being nice. If I'm just saying that.
Whatever. Like, if we're gonna charge $220 plus for an 11, whether you like them personally or not, that city pack that had the premium materials and the limited release, like that purple Mojave pair and
yeah,
the Houston Texans pair, I didn't aesthetically care for those shoes, but
Oh,
when I
yeah,
saw them in
absolutely not.
person, I was like, okay, they're trying something different. They're using different
Right.
materials, which can't be
Right.
cheap. They had big rollouts and marketing for them. I can understand why it would be a different price point, you know. When they did those god awful hyper adapter 11s, you know what I'm saying? I can understand why. Crazy new tech that they're pushing.
Right.
When they even, let's look at a recent release of a shoe like Union LA, when they do a Jordan 1, you get that super high quality retro box. you get a myriad of different laces, you get elevated materials, you get special tissue paper. If you go to the releases in LA, they give you little freebies. You know what I'm saying? Like if I'm paying a
Yeah,
little extra, am I wearing any of that shit? Really? Is it all like fluff? Yes, but
yeah, yeah,
like
yeah.
bro, make it worth my while. You know what I'm saying? Like
Absolutely.
don't sell me something that in your case, like look at you, you own a 2016 pair. So besides
Yeah.
a little sea glow treatment, if you're that vain about the bottom,
Right.
what am I getting different? A Jordan face
Right.
box?
Right. And I could
Or I'm sorry,
honestly,
the correct shade of blue
right.
as opposed to purple. You know what I'm saying?
And I could honestly take a soul dye
And
and
change that.
re-dye the color back blue. Because of oxidation, of course, and all that shit. I could re-dye the soul back blue. Hey man, little Titan man, what's going on, fam? It's been forever and a day. Damn.
The OG's coming out.
Yeah, man. How you been, man? I remember you said you moved and you were moving. How did that move go, man? How have you been, man? How has life been treating you? But yeah, I said that if I bought the Space Jams that were getting ready to drop this year, it would only be for the simple fact that those are the Space Jams. And what's in the Space Jam box currently is not the Space Jams, but the Black Concord PEs. And I was like, I would probably switch out the boxes and put the Space Jams in the Space Jam box and then put the Black Concord PEs in the 2026
box. Yeah.
just so it would make sense canon wise, you know what I'm saying? So but yeah, but I can't see myself paying $230 for it.
Paying $230 for a box office crazy. What up, bro? How you been, man? Long time, fam.
Yeah, like for just to swap out a pair of shoes, it's insane. So like I can't see myself paying that 230. And if I can't get them for cheaper than 230, then I'm okay with not getting them, because like I got the 2016 9s and the 2016 11s and they're still dead stock. Yeah. Hawks ATL, man, what's good? Any sneaker about to be 10 years old, they getting sold. Well, see, here's the funny thing. So yeah, 10 years old. Jordan 9s, and I'm sorry, y'all. I've been saying this for forever and a day. Jordan 9s, I'll show you. I'll fold them up for you. No separation. Look, never been on my feet. I'll crease them up for you. No separation. It's not about the age. It's about how you store them. And I know the exact way. I have a lot of experience in storing them. As a matter of fact, I can show you. Let me see. So I showed this one earlier, and this one I showed to Kari. Now this one is a shoe 2004, and this was before I even knew about sneakers. It's just got that little bit of separation right there. No separation in there, but I know for sure if it's separated right there, then I just might as well just go ahead and fully separate the sole. Of course, the air unit is fogged up. I know how to clear that up. I did a video like almost 5 years ago on how to clear that air bubble up. But if I wanted to, honestly, I could put these shoes on feet right now and walk out the door, and they would be perfectly fine to walk in. They would just be hideous to look at. Just that bit of sole separation, but nothing on the inside. But like I said, I've been saying for forever and a day that I am going to drop a video on how to care for your shoes and have them last. When I showed the Space Jams, I showed another example of how to make your shoes last past that 10-year mark. Here's an example that hits close to home for a lot of people. Come on, open up. Don't be shy. One of the most infamous pairs of Jordans within the last 5 years, the Off-White Air Jordan 5 Muslins. I also have I don't know if this is the Muslins, but I have the black pair as well. If you look at it, a lot of these are separating and crumbling. Look, I've done this 1,000 times. I've done this so many times on lives, on TikToks for people, folding it, no crumbling. And that's not because of age. That is because of how I store my shoes and take care of my shoes. Now, with that Off-White 5, if a lot of you don't know why that shoe is tearing up the way a lot of people on social media is showing it tear up, it is because Virgil purposefully went with a thinner midsole than the usual Jordan 5 midsole, which is causing them to crumble exponentially faster. But yeah, it's all in how you store your shoes. I've got tons of other examples of DS pairs of shoes that are not only 10 years old, but they're not fogged up and they're not crumbling. So you know, if you want to see that, if you want to see that, and you know, for me to show you that I am true to what I'm showing you, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, man. Support the family, man. We're trying to grow. I'm trying to be the opposite of a lot of content creators that, you know, tell y'all what y'all think y'all want to hear instead of what you all should be hearing and should be knowing, and not telling you all what big brands are telling, you know, me to tell you all. So and it all comes with making mistakes and experimenting and just, you know, just being in the community. But yeah, to your point, you can have shoes past 10 years old. I ain't taking it.
Shoes from
I'd rather have
2009.
yeah,
And then
absolutely.
also,
Absolutely.
if you're not gonna keep them dead stock, if you do wear them, a little light wear and put pressure on them, especially if it's got that polyurethane base, is gonna help when you decide to wear them again. Because if you keep them dead stock without the maintenance that you're talking about, and you
Yeah.
put them on feet
Yeah.
like you just got them, done.
Yeah. I just sold my 2016 DS Space Jam 11. Just give me the newer version. And I can understand that, man. I 100% respect that. There's nothing wrong with that. There's also certain shoes that you don't have to worry about that happening to. And
Most of the times, like Jordan 1, since they're stitched,
yeah,
and they don't use that polyurethane compound for that cushioning
yep,
system.
yep,
The airbag might go out, but
yeah.
that it's an airbag from the 85 era. Like, you wasn't feeling that for real anyway.
Jordan 1s, you don't have to worry about that. What other type of shoes in the Jordan class? I think
Twos.
yeah. Oh yeah, you definitely have to worry about that with twos.
I mean, you don't got to worry about a lot with twos.
Right. What else? Threes have the polyurethane, fours do, fives do.
Oh, fives can 3, 4, and 5s, man. Those are some of the most, especially since people covet those the most. Those are shoes that I always see horror stories in them.
Yeah. I'm trying to think. Like, I don't remember the makeup of 6s. I think
6s have a polyurethane air sole too.
yeah, 6s, 7s, 8s.
Yeah, 8s, man. 8s will crack terribly.
Yeah. 9s, they don't, even though they do have the polyurethane here, they don't tend to crack as fast or as bad. Tens. I don't remember.
I never really see 10s messed up.
Yeah. I just see 10s go through the aging process of the leather uppers. 11s is another one that you don't have to worry about the midsoles, but you have to worry about the air units.
10s, 11s, and 12, their biggest issue is separation.
Yes. 12s, they separate at the Jordan logo. And that's where you when the Jordan logo starts to the rubber starts to come back from the Jordan logo, that's when like you just see it go. Because for whatever reason, like the heel of the Jordan logo, Jordan 12, even though it's a polyurethane, not a polyurethane, I think whatever, but even though it is a poly midsole in the back, it does not, for whatever reason, it does not crumble like you would see a 3, 4, or 5 crumble. 13s, you don't have that problem with 13s, of course. You have to worry about the air unit, and even the air unit, for whatever reason, in 13s don't go that fast. 14s,
I've never seen a bad 14.
Yeah, you just see like the back part of the rubber peel because these areas are so thin that the glue just naturally separates, and then you might see like the tail lights fog up or fall off or some crazy shit like that. And anything other than like 14s, people don't really pay attention to. Yeah. Lil Tiny said he missed us, man. We missed y'all too, fam. We missed y'all too.
Glad you back. Glad you good.
Boston for a year. Wow. 13's a doorway. Yeah, I've never either. My oldest kick is the Chutney 13 Lows 2017 version. Also, you have by sneaker standards, you have a old collection, but you know, I'm just trying to help people understand that 10 years does not need to be the kryptonite age of sneakers. It doesn't, because if you look at somebody like the Perfect Pair, for all intents and purposes, after everything has come out about some of the things in the Perfect Pairs collection, Perfect Pair has shoes from like 2000 like 4 or 2005 or something like that, maybe even a little bit older, and they still are wearable to this day. The shark teeth on the 14 start to wrinkle too. Yeah, they do wrinkle, but you know the fix for the shark teeth is the same fix for the air unit. I mean the cat's eye on the 13s, and is the same fix for like a Yeezy slide, which is a heat gun. You can put a heat gun to that, and it will fix all of the wrinkles in a 14. Another issue with Jordans in general, though, is knowing your foot type, because a lot of problems that people experience with Jordans is a lot of people don't know that they have a wide foot. Jordans, and I've said this in a video, unfortunately, Jordans are not made for people with wide feet. The only Jordans that you can get away with if you have a wide or a super wide foot, and I've done research on all this kind of stuff. This is only why I know this, and it sounds like nerdish, but if you have a wide or a super wide foot, the only Jordan that you could possibly comfortably get away with is a Jordan 5. That's why a lot of people say Jordans are uncomfortable. Yes, to a certain degree, but it's not that Jordans are uncomfortable, it's that they're not made for you. Unfortunately. And that's what a lot of basketball shoes are. Basketball shoes are not made for people with wide feet. That's why people enjoy newer tech basketball shoes more than they enjoy the old stuff, because there was no consideration for people with wide feet back then in the early 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, etc. So that's what that is. But I also try to teach people their foot types, their foot sizes, what to expect with each kind of Jordan silhouette, or each release that you may suggest to me, or each release that I may think is interesting. I try to understand all of that. I kind of push into like the sneaker foot doctor territory and stuff like that, and stuff like that. Yeah, Jordan 2s, they do expand over time, but just because a shoe expands over time does not mean it's made for your foot type. If it's made for your foot type, it shouldn't take an extended period of time to conform to your foot. This is not like foam posits like what we talking about here, where foam posits are genuinely made as far as the insole to form to the structure of your foot based on heat and things like that. This is like Jordans we're talking about. The Jordan 2 dropped in what, like 86, 87, somewhere around there. They were not considering with the Jordan 2 the forming to your foot factor and the break-in factor. They were just saying it's a shoe, you put it on, you perform in it. We're doing this for Jordan, not the consumer. So that's a valid point, but you got to understand like your shoes. I'm telling you got to understand the shoes. Just a heads up, if you're gonna be live in October, specifically the 23rd through the 25th, I'm gonna be in TF Con. I might be able to make it probably. Okay, I don't even know what TF Con is.
It's a Transformers convention.
Oh. Once I know the newer version is coming out, I sell the older pair.
I just did that with the up tempos, so I can't.
Yeah, a lot of people do that, and
it's
that's
not even
that
necessarily because of wear. It's just like I don't need two of these.
Yeah, facts, and that can come with a gift and a curse. So you might get a newer pair and avoid like the 10-year death curse, but also you won't get the same quality. You might not end up getting the same quality, and then you end up pissed off and sitting there like a lot of people online saying, man, they need to bring it back to the 2015 pair, or man, they need to bring it back to this year's kind of pair when you already had that year. So now you got to wait another 5 to 10 years for them to do it and hope that they give you the quality that they gave you 15 or 20 years ago. But again, there's nothing wrong with that, man. I always advocate to people to do what's best for them. Always. 12s are durable. Oh, hell yeah. They
Tanks.
durable as hell. Yeah.
New
12s are the tanks of the
full
Jordan
grain
silhouettes.
leather. Like I got a OG pair of 12s that's still wearable, and I'm just like, this is what we need. Not to sound like the average sneakerhead, like go back to the old days, but it's just like I didn't have 12s OGs because I was what, 4. So like getting a pair retroactively as an adult, I was like, yo, this is real leather. You had that translucent, semi-translucent bottom, the zoom
Yep.
pods, first full length zoom Jordan. You like, yo, this in the 90s was probably blowing people's mind, bro. It's a shame we get a fraction of that now. Like anytime a shoe claims a polyurethane plate, in my mind, I'm all like, this ain't real. This plastic, fool. I could be wrong. I can't prove it's not real polyurethane, but I'm just like, I just can't believe it is. Bro.
You just feel in your spirit that it's not the same polyurethane.
Yeah, but I'm just like, and no offense, not trying to be devil's advocate for a big brand. I will probably put the bare minimum of cushioning and tech in the Jordan Retro until they start doing Protros, because why? Why would I give you a full length zoom Strobel? You're not about to ball in these. I'm not about to put a real carbon plate foot shank in there because you don't need the torsional rigidity because your ass is driving a car or hanging out with the homies somewhere recreationally. It doesn't excuse the fact, because if you're going to give us the shoe in its true form, it's not my fault you wanted to make it a tech giant back in the 90s. But from a business perspective, if you could use a cheaper material and people still going to line up for it, they probably like, fuck it. Because most of us don't know what, if you didn't hoop or if you're not a sneaker nerd,
you don't know what the hell is in the shoe.
Here. Bro, you have no idea what the fuck I just said. It don't apply to nobody here. But, you know, Rose Anvil opened my mind when he broke down the Yeezy 700. Because in my mind, I was all like, we're paying $300 because Kanye name on it. But it had more boost The performance models, it had genuine leather and suede. I said, holy shit. But when now I got the mindset that all Yeezys built like that. But when he broke down
Yeah.
the more commercial ones, he was like, no, it's not all of them built the same. So you go, yeah, why give you the same quality of a $300 retail shoe for a shoe that's
Right.
$150? You not Kanye. You're not jumping off the stage. You're not producing Grammy Award winning music and you need to be on your feet for hours in the studio. So you're going to get this little boost missile. You're going to get the look and you're going to get the fuck out of my face.
And I wore these 12s every day for like a year and a half, 2 years. And they don't even look like they look like I barely wore them. But if you look there,
I'm going to
you
be
can see
honest with you, bro. I am so burnt on that blocking on 12s. Sometimes I really got to put my mind to the test and be like, royalties, masters,
Yeah.
taxis.
Yeah.
Like I
Yeah.
can't like you be like, which one was that, bro? Because they did
Right.
everything but give us taxis. Then they gave us taxis, and people was like,
And nobody wanted them. Yeah.
bro, because burnt out, fam. They get
Right.
I think taxis. I'm trying to think of another retro, whether it's a Jordan or not, where Nike kept going. I think it's like that with the Total Foam Posit Max. We see silver-esque foam bulky shoes all the time. That when that foam posit finally come out, bro, I hope they don't fuck it up because people gonna be like, bro.
They did that with they did that with the Jordan 5s. They gave us every colorway imaginable, even colorways that we did not want before they gave us the silver and the black tongue fire red 5s, and before they gave us the grape 5s. So by the time any of those dropped,
about grapes,
they was like, I don't give a shit about that. And then they damn near did it for the Thunder 4s. Because they gave us the Lightning 4s and they played around with like Jordan brand and Nike in general just dangled a carrot in front of us and was like, we know you want it. We know you want it. How bad do you want it? And then by the time they gave us the carrot, we was like, man, fuck that carrot, man.
I don't like this number.
But Locks Not Dread said, did you guys notice a sizing difference in the cool gray 9s from the olive and powder blue 9s? I fit a 12 perfectly in those two, but the cool grays, I needed a 12 and a half.
I don't own I'm sorry, bro. I may because it's the patent material on the cool grays that make them fit different.
Yeah.
They got a different build.
Yeah. The cool gray 9s did come off as more narrow than the other two, than the powder blues.
A lot of people say that they fit weird.
Yeah. And to Kari's point, it was more than likely the patent leather. But yeah, I did notice that. I did hear a lot of people saying that they had problems with it. But people have problems with 9s in general because the toe is so narrow. Where the teeth are on the side, a lot of people always talk about that just hits that pinky toe something serious. So you're not the only one out there, fam. I hope the Space Jams fit like the olive 9s and the powder blues. Well, if they fit anything like the 2016 Space Jams, if they fit anything like these, then if they just cut and paste what they did in 2016, yeah, you'll be fine. You'll be fine. You'll be absolutely fine to go true to size. Only kick I hoop in is Kobe 6s. Whoo, God bless your ankles, man. You better than me. Be honest with yourself. Would you actually buy the shoe if Kanye's name wasn't on it? I understand where you're coming from. I do, but I mean, are you really rocking these?
You talking about wave runners? Yeah. My affinity for wave runners, I mean, I just actually got shouted out by Stephen Smith. I went on a whole tirade on social media saying Kanye West didn't design shit. He gave a tip here and there, and he signed off on it. Stephen Smith designed them Yeezys, and I'm a Stephen Smith dude. Like, there's certain, to your point, certain shoes by Ye that I wouldn't wear because I don't like 350 V2s at all. Them joints suck to me. But like the Wave Runners, it was so serious with those. I got them. If people remember, the first Wave Runners were available on pre-order. So I dropped the pre-order, and at the time, I was getting clowned on because everybody was all like, them ugly, chunky, old ass nigga shoes. Them joints are awful. And then my homies was clowning me because we worked at Nike, and Nike got a very strict policy about rocking competitive brands. Now in your free time you can, but sanctioned events, work events, at work, don't even talk about it. Still got them shits. You know what I'm saying? Because I was like, bro, I like them. And then I don't be talking shit about people, but it was a couple people had to spend a block on them when they was paying aftermarket for them, press to get them, intern raffle after raffle. I was like, yeah, those ugly ass shoes definitely reared their ugly head. I got a pair of 950 boots right by the door. Like, those was my grail boots at the time because when those came out, Kanye and Adidas was asking $500-600 for them retail. I was able to get them in like a couple years ago when they ended their partnership and was selling them for like under retail. I got them for like 160 from Adidas on a flash sale. Like, certain people's names attachment do mean something. Because let's be honest, would Jordan sell without Jordan all the time? I don't think so. But certain designs just speak for itself. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think it's a stigma behind brand naming things. Cause like, forget a person name like Kanye. Think about a brand name. Would you buy Jordans if they wasn't Nike? Would you buy certain models if it wasn't like, if somebody dropped like say a Jordan 4 like design and it was Skechers? You getting it? You know. So I'm not gonna say the name don't play a part. But as far as the Yeezys, the 700s, the 500s, and some other models, yeah, I don't give a fuck if Kanye West name on it or not. I like it was just a plus.
And shout out to Ian, because I wasn't a huge fan of Wave Runners in the beginning, and I'm still not like the hugest fan of them, but I started to see the vision, and I'm also a big believer in before you hate on something, try it at least once. Now I know there are just certain things out there that you just like your beliefs and your constitution just tell you fuck no, we not doing this shit. But every now and then, just break the mold and try some shit at least once because I ended up buying these and they DS. Of course.
Come on now, dog. Come on, man.
But and I've got a couple of other DS pairs of shoes. I got a bunch of shoes that are still in shipping boxes that I don't even know what the hell is in the shipping boxes. But they're not DS to the point where I hadn't tried them on. And when I tried them on, these are insanely comfortable for a pair of shoes. Like
700s
to Jordans, and like there is no comparison. And I understand that like they're period pieces. Like Jordans are pieces from the late 80s to early 90s. So you're not going to get that amazing comfort feel. That's what comfort was back then. But like these, for what they are, these ushered in a new level of comfort. So I can see the hype, and I don't think and the materials. That was another thing that really got me. Oh my, like Adidas was, or I don't know now, but Adidas was known for top quality materials, and they weren't hitting you over the head with them ridiculous ass prices. The premium suedes, the premium leathers. Now, are they as good as they could be? Like the sample pairs, absolutely fucking not. But they were still higher quality than what you would see on a lot of your favorite retros coming from Nike. And these look good on feet, like you said about the Mind 001 slides. They look crazy in hand, but you let your pajama pants drape over the top, and they
got it, bro.
Fine, man. They look perfectly fine. They do what they supposed to do. Lil Tight said, man, how many Space Jams y'all getting? 0.
Yeah, they gotta be on sale, brother.
Yeah, I'm not getting none. I got the 2016 9s and 2016 11s with all of the special gifts, wrappings, and stuff like that.
That's a good point. I might get them as a gift for like my nephew or something.
Yeah.
But personal pair, like I said, I want a pair. I ain't gonna freak like I don't want a pair, but two, even with the price being lowered, I laughed about that shit too. Everyone's like, yeah, we won. We got them to lower the price. And I'm like,
no.
It's still more expensive than the last retro. So how
right?
Shit, we ain't win that hard.
right. You're not winning unless they the same price or cheaper than the 2016 pair. The 2016 pair, as y'all saw, dropped at $220, and you got a lot more with that release than you are going to get with this release. So
I mean, it's a million pair of a Jordan retro. Now I don't want to be too cocky because the Gammas did not sit. But the Gammas hadn't been seen in so long.
Right.
And that was the first Jordan retro of that new generation. Like the years prior, we got all the classics. Breads, Cool Grays, Space Jams, Concords. So this was the first non-OG holiday retro. And then it's an all black one too, no white midsole to distract you. And it hadn't been out in so long. The Gammas and the black hats, especially with the younger generation loving all black shoes, I think it'll hit different than the Space Jam retro.
I was gonna say the Gammas dropped. The Gammas dropped in the year of our new Lord, the YNs, and the YNs love all black shoes. Any all black shoe and the YNs is gonna go crazy. It's gonna sell out. So that was just the all black effect with the Gammas. Hawks ATL 678 said, I'd rather cop some Pradas before I get some Yeezys. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. I don't see a problem with that. Yeah, I don't see no problem. And he said, but it depends. Ken Vita said, I personally like the Air Yeezy 2s, but I mean, I think straps on shoes are cool. But are you really rocking Yeezys? Forget the name, forget the person. Is the shoe fire? So there were a couple of pair of Yeezys, because when I first saw them, it's just like anything new. Because that's what the initial problem was with me and Yeezys, and I just didn't that shit. That's what the initial problem with me and Yeezys was. It was something so completely out of the norm that it was more so of overcoming the shock of seeing something different from the past decade. So once I got over that initial shock of seeing something new, and I kind of like sat back and looked at it, because it wasn't hype that made me buy Yeezys. It was just simply like, try it before you say, fuck it. There were actually maybe a handful of Yeezys, and when I say a handful, probably a handful or less, that I thought were just like viable pairs of shoes, because I don't give a fuck about Kanye. Like, Kanye don't support me, I support Kanye. Like, Kanye don't pay my bills, I pay Kanye bills every time I buy something with his name on it. So like, his name don't mean a fucking thing to me. And like I've said, growing up, I was a kid that was in a different space. I was a kid that was in a space of like Legos and video games and shit like that. So I didn't give a fuck about at the time who Jordan was, because I didn't have anybody around me and my family to, talk to me about sports and shit. Like, sports for me didn't come until I was a teenager. So I also didn't give a fuck about Jordan. I knew who he was and respected who he was as a player and his name and what everybody was saying. But like, me buying his shoes, I bought his shoes basically solely off of the simple fact that I fucked with his shoes. So when it comes to shoes, I can give a fuck about a name. Like the Gary Paytons. I didn't even know who the fuck Gary Payton was. I didn't even find out who Gary Payton was until like I had a nostalgic moment and was like, I want another pair of the Son of gloves that I had when I was a kid because I love the shoes. And I went on a deep dive Google search of the name of the shoes, and looking for the shoes told me who was associated with them. But I was like, man, I don't know who fucking Gary Payton is, man. I just love the fucking shoes. So sometimes I would say for the newer generation, the name carries more weight than the actual product, which is why you see the sneaker culture in the state that it is, because the names are no longer relevant or existent, and the people that follow the names are no longer relevant or existent. But for true collectors, it's a combination, or it's one of the other. It's a combination of the name and the mass appeal of the product, or the product itself. So yeah, not for me, that's what it is. The Reebok questions and answer ones I'm copping, and that's facts. That's facts. Especially the questions. It took me a second to get onto the questions, but I definitely like the questions. I like kamikazes too, oddly enough. I'm a fan of kamikazes too. Air Max 95 OGs, yeah, that's what made me run over there and grab them. Absolutely, man. I chased these down for so long, and not only was I glad to get a pair of the OG Neon 95s, but I was glad that they did them with what they originally drew it up as, with this large bubble, because a lot of people don't know that when they first drew up the Air Max 95s, they were intended to have a bubble this big, but the tech wasn't good enough for them to make a big bubble, so they had the smaller units. And now
I thought that was with the ones.
Nah, it was 95s.
I thought they changed the 95 PSI because of the manufacturing process was using a specific type of gas that they stopped using. I know with the ones for a fact. That's why they call them Big Bubble 86s, because they dropped
So
87 and Tinker Hatfield had a way bigger bubble, and they was like, nah, fam, that's just not even sustainable.
Right. So and that's what it is. With the bigger bubble, they couldn't number one, they couldn't get it that big and it be a stable shoe. So in order to make a more stable shoe and make it more functional, they had to make it smaller. So nowadays, when they did like experimenting with the larger air units, the 270s and the 720s and stuff like that, they were able to play with the size of the air units and perfect the air units, which allowed them to actually go back with the size of the air unit that Tinker preferred and give them the larger bubbles, which is why you have like the big bubble Air Max 95s now.
I thought that was only with the ones, but
nah. Cause I went down a deep rabbit hole on trying to find the 95 neons, getting pissed off with those like small limited releases in Tokyo and shit like that. And wanting to do a video. When I did the video on the Air Max 95s with the first release, with the first re-release in like 2020, I think it was, well, they did like a little small release, or what there's like 2020, 2024, somewhere around there.
They did one in 2020 also.
I went down and you know how obsessive I can be. I went down a history of the Air Max 95s. And that's where I learned that one from. But yeah, like Air Max 95 OGs, absolutely. I went and got the ATL Air Max 95s. I'm a big believer in Air Max 95s. Like Air Max 95s have become like my dark horse sneaker for favorite sneaker over the last 2 or 3 years or so. Man, I've been in this house so long, man. Time is not linear anymore. But yeah, I just don't like every single colorway they do, and that's fine. But Air Max 95s, man, they got my stamp of approval. And they also retooled the toe box. So if you got a wider foot, you don't have to battle with trying to figure out whether you need to go up a half size or a whole size. Now you can just, you know, easily figure out what size you need. But again, I don't follow the hype. I rock what I like. You know that. I'm simply saying it's a personal thing. Yeah, it's personal. I mean, you know, yeah. Same, for real, facts. I mean, I have a personal connection because, and this is meant as a flex, but I met Michael Jordan, true story. But I mean, you're buying a pair of shoes. I guarantee people who own Jordans, don't even know who Jordan even is. Now, I mean, even though it's been a bunch of decades, even the young kids, they know of Jordan, but they don't give a shit about who Jordan is.
Dude, I actually know some teenagers who didn't know who Jordan's. They knew of Jordan. They knew who existed because the shoes and just popular culture. But The Last Dance really, and that explains why a lot of the retros inflated in price, because The Last Dance did a number on Jordan's legacy in a good way.
Yeah. And yeah, these are all good ones too, man. Penny twos, I had to mature in order to appreciate penny twos.
They need
Huarache,
to stop bullshitting retro the penny two Orlando.
Yeah, absolutely. Huaraches, Fab Fives, and Bo Jacksons are tough. Now y'all gonna knock my head off of this. I like the Raiders Bo Jacksons. I mean, because it's easy to like a black and gray colorway. But I didn't really like see the Bo Jacksons for their potential until the Olympic 96 Bo Jacksons dropped. Like when they put those crazy suedes on that shoe, I was like, yeah, okay, I see
My
it now.
favorite bow-related model, Air Trainer 3. Medicine balls are Dracula's, bro. Like Spike Lee came out and do the right thing in the Medicine Ball 3, bro. Glued to the screen.
Oh man.
But nah, those Olympic shoe. I still need to track down the purple pair, the new Air Trainer SE Highs, the second Olympics that came out a couple months ago.
I don't even think the prices are bad on them.
More than I want to pay. My local
They shot up.
My local spot, literally around the corner, randomly had them. If I would have came a day earlier, I would have been good. The biggest size they have is a 10.5, still sitting there. I look at it every time I go in there.
Let me see. Let me look at GOAT. Even though I don't fuck with GOAT either, man. There's a lot of people that like that fucked me over in my concurrent 10 years of collecting sneakers. So yeah, like they had 200. I think the retail price, what was the retail price for these? Like 180?
130, 140.
130? Okay.
Like the last time I looked, I haven't looked on Go. Last time I saw a pair, they was trending around like 250, and I was just like, can't do that. I'm an 11 and a half.
Yeah, so for 11 and a half, they 238.
If they don't ever restock, I could probably fade that.
And the last sale, what the top offer is 172, and the last sale was like 239. So I mean,
that 172, that would have been a no-brainer. They would have been with me.
So that sounds doable, man. That sounds doable. That's not bad. Because if you
a little longer.
Yeah. I don't blame you. I absolutely would too. Because the last, like, if you look at that price compared to the green pair, like that green pair is insane.
That green pair is off the table. Like I don't even look at that anymore. And I don't want to use pair because nobody took care of the suede and the translucent parts are starting to yellow. So I'm just like, yeah, it's a shoe that I'll admire from a distance. Hopefully, maybe in 2036, Nike do a retro, but I'm cool now owning it. I respect it forever.
Because like so many people have worn their pairs, and there are basically few and far between of new pairs out there. So like in my size, a 10 or a 10 and a half, like a 10, they don't even have new pairs for 10s and 10s and a halves. Used 528, 604, 10 and a half, 736, 821. You out your fucking mind, man. You out your mind.
That's designer shoe prices out of a department
Right.
store. We out of here, man.
Like if I'm going to pay $821 in 2026 for a pair of shoes, I'm gonna take that $800 something dollars plus like the taxes that GOAT adds on it and all that, basically damn near $1,000. I'm gonna take that $1,000 and get me a car that I can ride around in and depend on for at least solidly 3 to 4 years, and take that $900 and put that down on the car note and shit like that.
Yeah, we really looking at Christmas time. 2 pair for me, pair for my lady, pair for the kid, a pair for a family member I fuck with, and I'm probably still got money left over.
I'm thinking about doubling up on this shoe, man. The only reason I'm showing it because you said the gloves, man. I'm thinking about doubling up on this.
Yeah, my homeboy that hit me up about a pair at local Snipes. I was asleep at the time, so I missed it. He said he gonna go back tomorrow. Hopefully it's still there. I might beat him to the punch and go myself.
What size shoe you
Need him
were?
at retail. 11 and a half.
11 and a half. If I see him at the store and you don't have him by then, I'll snatch him up because I'll be out this weekend.
Yeah, I need them. Need them dying.
Because I know like my local store, they still have them on the app. Or well, the last time I checked, they still had them on the app.
Yeah, they keep restocking them. So if I don't get them in person, hopefully I catch one of them restocks.
Speaking of shoes that drop, man, them Oreo 6s, man, them things is going stale.
They didn't need to come out. And then so close to upcoming Carmines, I'm like, brother, like who? I'm not gonna say who asked for these. I'm gonna let them have it, man. Because I can't say who asked for these. Because while I was able to get a pair when they first came out, it's a lot of people new to the game. So I ain't gonna be an elitist. But I don't even think people who missed them was asking for them to come back.
And see, that's how I feel at this point in time. If I say that they're unnecessary, I feel like I'm being an elitist. And I never wanted to be that type of collector.
Certain shoes, I don't feel that way. Like when it's a surprise restock or something, or when it's like a butchered version. Like for example, y'all knew y'all was coming out with Royal Ones. Why did y'all do the reimagines? Same thing with the 4s. Y'all knew y'all was coming out with brand 4s. Now the brand 4s might get a pass because people like the leather better, but the time window is too close. That came out 2 years ago, man.
Yeah.
I didn't even get a chance to miss it.
Yeah.
And you can get a dead stock pair of reimagines for pretty much retail. So I'm just like, what?
And even though the Flints dropped in 2020, that's how I felt. That's how I feel about the Flint 13s. I feel that same way about the Carmine 6s. Like some of these shoes, I feel like they are dropping way too soon.
I'm looking forward to Carmine's only because the production errors of the runoff of the red messed up the last release.
Yeah.
So if they do it with the new 6 shape that they introduced on the Salesman 6 without the color bleed, one, I'm here for it. 2, even if I wasn't, I can respect it more.
Well, keep your fingers crossed because you know this is this Jordan brand we talking about. There are no guarantees. But man, it is late. Oh man, I don't know if y'all remember the pop-up shops. I got the sneaker ATL pop-up shop pins and stuff like that. Back in the days, man, when the Nike sneakers app was new, like a baby. But it's getting late, man. I gotta get up and do adult things. I want to say thank you, absolutely thank you for coming through.
It was a pleasure
and giving your insight. You know, it wasn't the usual back and forth sparring that we've had in the past.
I'm old now.
Maybe
For that.
maybe because I've evolved a little bit and
Bro, this is nothing compared to working with H. So time has softened my heart. Bless my
H is
heart.
yeah, H is hilarious, man.
Yeah.
Y'all seen the up tempo 96 is dropping in a week. Nike done tweaked them. Yeah. Yeah, I'll be talking about those too. I'll be talking about a lot of stuff coming up. And because of the time constraints, like I didn't get to show y'all half of the stuff that I was going to show y'all, like the Easy 800s, the actual new Nike slides that we were talking about. It's a bunch of stuff that I wanted to show y'all and ask Kari his opinion on. But that's what happens. We went solidly 2 hours past what I normally go and do, but it was a good time. It was a great time. I'll say that, man. So again, thank you, Kari, for coming through. I know your time is limited because you got your own thing going on. And for those of people that don't know what you have going on, man, please feel free to let them know again what you up to.
Yeah, guys, starting the podcast journey. Well, not starting, we 60 episodes deep now, but we got a groove. It's 12 Hub Sneaker Podcast. It's a part of the 12 Hub Podcast Network, which also has a variety of other shows. If you're so inclined, if you want to talk sneakers or anything in general, feel free to follow my personal page, which is _shop. From there, we can link up on 12 Hub Podcast. You can follow them as well. We're on all socials, TikTok, Instagram, X, YouTube for streaming purposes. And as far as audio platforms, it's Apple Podcasts and Spotify. It's a good time, man. We're a family, man. And it's growing. So be a part of that journey.
Nice. I will link everything Kari said down in the description, probably in the morning because I'm going straight to bed. So it'll be on the video for you all to check out. Feel free to check out any further links that are going to be in the description as well. Thank you all for coming through, showing support. I appreciate it. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, hit that thumbs up. If you enjoyed the live and you are using your mobile device, once you hit that thumbs up, it's going to give you that hype option. Hit that hype me up. It is 100% free on your end. The only thing it does is it pushes me out into the YouTube algorithm so that I can meet more of you wonderful sneaker enthusiasts. I don't call y'all sneakerheads. Sneakerheads is a rotten term, man. I call y'all what y'all truly are, an enthusiast of the art. And there's nothing better, man. I'm trying to build a better, beautiful community, man. Nothing of what you see in the last couple of years. But again, I appreciate y'all for tuning in. I go by the name HG. If y'all are unfamiliar with me, the channel is Homegrown Kicks. The lives are soul source because we feed not only the soles of your feet, but the souls within you with nothing but good times. Before I exit out, like I always like to say, don't forget, nothing is impossible. Fight for everything you believe in. Don't let anything stand in your way and dream hungry. Shoes are made to be worn, not adorned. Don't follow my example. I'm my own person. You do you. Enjoy these things called sneakers because they only last for so long. No matter what you do, they only last for so long and they can only bring you so much happiness. Enjoy the time you have. Once again, thank y'all for tuning in. I love y'all. Have a great night. Have a wonderful week. And I'll catch y'all later. Peace.